emergency crews on scene at Wilmington Hospital. Police confirming a shooting occurred and officers have located 2 gunshot victims. The hospital remains on lockdown, police say, and the public is being told to avoid the area as they search. Law enforcement officials tell ABC News preliminary info indicates the incident began when one hospital employee shot 2 other employees. A possible deal to end the war with Iran set to be finalized Friday, according to President Trump. Terms of a memo of understanding have not been made public. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer now calling for the Gang of 8 lawmakers to be briefed.
Most importantly, I'm calling on Trump to inform the American people on whatever his understanding with Iran involves, and he should do it immediately, so we all know what the heck is going on.
The FBI says they've arrested 5 people in connection with a foiled drone plot at Sunday's UFC event at the White House. More suspects remain at large. This is ABC News. Federal prosecutors in Minnesota have charged more than a dozen people in connection, the Justice Department says, with anti-ICE protests during the immigration sweeps in Minnesota and alleged ties to 2 Minneapolis far-left protest groups. U.S. Attorney Daniel Rosen announcing the charges at a news conference.
Today, a federal indictment was unsealed, charging 15 defendants with conspiracy to impede or injure federal officers and other charges related to efforts of 2 Minneapolis-based Antifa groups that violently opposed the enforcement of federal law in our state.
2 of the 15 people charged are not yet in custody. Some familiar faces are returning to Wimbledon this year. The tournament has revealed Serena and Venus Williams will team up and return to the Grand Slam Championship as doubles partners in a wild card entry. The duo are 6-time doubles champions at Wimbledon. Michelle Franzen, ABC News.
Border agents opened fire in Blaine. That's coming up after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Your Seattle Mariners have the update. Eastbound 90 mid-span. We've got a collision blocking 2 right lanes. You're backed up bumper to I-5. Otherwise, our lake bridges are wide open. Bellevue, South 405. It's jam-packed from mid-Bellevue through Factoria. Bellevue to Renton, you got about a 10-minute delay, taking you 35 minutes to make this trip. Here in Seattle, North 5, we're slow before the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. South 5, bumper to bumper from Lake City Way to I-90, 25 minutes from Linwood in the downtown. Everett to Marysville, just under 15 minutes. We're looking at off and on slowing between the Boeing Freeway and 528. And southbound 167 already bumper to bumper between the Outlet Mall and Sumner. Plan on 40 minutes from Renton to Puyallup. Don't miss fireworks nights all summer long, presented by T-Mobile. The next show is June 19th. Get your tickets at mariners.com/fireworks. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. The FBI is investigating a shooting involving a U.S. Border Patrol agent in Blaine. Happened early this morning in a residential area near the Canadian border. Customs and Border Patrol says the suspect was shot, injured, and taken to the hospital. U.S. Attorney Neil Floyd tells Jason Rantz on Seattle Red.
We're looking at every aspect. There was a gun recovered at the scene, and we're at this point trying to make sure everything was done properly.
No agents were hurt. Floyd says the suspect was known to law enforcement and had a criminal history. 6-year-old boy kidnapped overnight in Linwood has been found safe. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay reports the suspect is still on the run.
Courtney O'Keefe in the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office says it started late Monday night.
Deputies responded to reports of an assault and a female victim being thrown from a vehicle near 148th Street Southwest in Linwood.
She says the woman's ex-boyfriend, 32-year-old Davey Donato, then took off in her car with her 6-year-old son. The boy turned up in a family friend's front yard in Shoreline about 5:30 a.m., and it's believed Donato took him there, dropped him off, and then left. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
A Lakewood man was gravely injured in a powerful blast involving homemade fireworks. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has that story.
The Pierce County Bomb Squad was called to a home near Steilacoom Boulevard Southwest and Bridgeport Way Southwest just after 3 p.m. last Saturday. When they arrived, they found a 47-year-old man with life-altering injuries. Investigators say the man admitted he was mixing black powder in a Ninja blender when it exploded. Deputy Carly Capetto says the man is a victim and a suspect, too.
This is a crime crime. You cannot make bombs. You can't make homemade fireworks. We are just thankful that other people did not get their hands on these homemade devices.
The man will likely face charges after he recovers. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Cal Raleigh is officially back with the Mariners after missing about a month with a right oblique strain. Also back in the lineup is J.P. Crawford. He was on the injured list with a bruised right hand. First place M's take on the Baltimore Orioles tonight as they begin a 6-game homestand. To your forecast now, mid-70s and sunny today, more of the same for the rest of the week. Could see, though, 80 on Friday. Right now, 75 and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
McDonald's fried apple pie.
Slightly out of reference and out of context.
Yeah, McDonald's for America's 250th birthday.
Yes.
They're reintroducing the fried apple pie.
Yum!
For a limited time only.
All right.
They offer baked apple pies, but
the fried ones, they used to have rile, and then they had caution written on the side of the thing because did you remember that? It would come out of a red.
Oh, super duper hot.
Yeah, it would come out of a red little cardboard thing and slide out of there and had a little filling may be hot.
It was not as hot as their coffee. The coffee is scalding hot.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Let me know when we're on the air because I don't know if this is worthy of broadcast. Andrew, how are we doing? Are we going to go up in a couple of seconds or where are we?
McDonald's fried apple pie.
There we go. Diving in the day. Full circle. Thank you for that, Aaron.
You got it.
Joe said, hey, look, it's quantum physics because he's, what are you going to talk about at the beginning of the show? And I said, I was going to do something about, America's never been more divided. And then you happen to notice.
That's right. I had already noticed.
Aha.
Just had it on my list of things.
So I thought, well, that gives me a starting point. Let's see. You know the story that happened in the U.S. Senate?
Oh, wait. Are you going to point out what I noticed? Or is you saving that for later?
Hold that.
Okay.
Wow, that's a tease.
Yeah, I'm constructing this.
I get it.
Okay, so I start with the story. The U.S. Senate, senator sitting at his desk. Another senator runs in and says, I read your speech. I know what you're about to say. With that, the senator seated at his desk looks up to his right, and the other senator raises this cane in the air. It's got a metal tip on it, and starts raining blows down on his fellow senator's head, about 30 altogether by the time it was over. Other senators try to gather around, and they were actually not trying to save the seated senator who's now unconscious. They're just trying to keep others away from protecting him. They take his body. He's now wounded, unconscious, and suffering. They take him off the floor. And the senator that was hitting the other one goes back to his office, and a couple of weeks pass, and then all of a sudden in the mail, he starts getting fan mail, including handmade and store-bought canes with metal tips. They love him. As far as the other senator is concerned, well, he's unable to serve, but the people of his state reelect him anyway, and his seat remains empty for 3 years. Now, you think to yourself, how would the media cover this story? Well, in order to answer that question, you'd have to know what side everybody was on. Like, what did the guy that was seated being hit over the head 30 times, who did he represent, and who was he a part of, and who was the guy that was hitting him? And then you'd have to figure out the media would be covering the story depending upon whose side is on what side, and does the one guy represent this or that. But ultimately, what's going to make us the most amount of money? That's really the question that the media asks itself over and over again when it gives us the story. You know the Hatfield McCoys? You know those stories, right? They were fighting, the two families fighting over the Sandy River there between West Virginia and Kentucky. Did you know that the battle between the Hatfields and McCoys was fomented, and the flames were fanned by the media that was also owned by the timber company that wanted to drive people out of Kentucky and West Virginia so that they could buy up the lumber. So who's benefiting from the Hatfield and McCoys killing each other? Well, the newspapers and also the lumber companies. So there's always something behind the stories that we're getting from the media. We see it over and over again, right? We hear, well, this country has never been more divided, and how are we ever going to celebrate it? The birthdays. It's the same thing that lawyers do when it comes to divorce, which I'm somewhat of an expert on. And here's what they do to you. They tell you that the other person that you're getting divorced is really, really angry, or they give you a bunch of crap, and then you get all upset, and then the lawyers, I just know that they do this. They call each other and they realize, hey, we can keep this thing going because it's billable hours. I remember one of my divorces, I can't remember which one it was. And my lawyer that I had to get, didn't want to get, but I had to get, called me on the phone and said that she needed something. I gave her the answer, and I said, "Excuse me, you bill by the quarter hour?" And she said, "Yeah, by the quarter hour." I said, "Oh, great. Well, I just answered your question, which took me 5 seconds. So what I'm going to do? I'm gonna get my 15 minutes worth. Do you like country music?" She said, "Excuse me?" I said, "Do you like country music?" Not particularly. Well, too bad, because I do. And I turned on the radio. I think it was The Wolf.
Oh.
Yeah. And I took my phone and I put it on top of the dash where the speaker was, and I just played some country music from local radio station. And I pick up the phone every once in a while and say, "Are you enjoying this? You liking this? Because I'm paying you, so I'm going to keep you on the phone." I dropped it back on the thing and listened to, I don't know, Dierks Bentley or something like that. Yeah. I'm just driving the car. Yep. That's all right. Okay, I'm looking at the clock. I'm like, I'm going to get my 15 minutes worth. How you doing? Are you enjoying this? You like this? Here's some more for you. I didn't know what song it was. I didn't care. And then I realized after 15 minutes was over, I just said, "Okay, thank you," and I hung up because I had to pay, right? I had to pay. I mean, that's how crazy you get when you're going through some of these things, because you know that the one lawyer is calling the other lawyer, and they're just trying to keep everybody opposed to one another so that they can make more and more money. And the same thing with the media. Don't buy it. Please don't buy it. How could the country be more divided than it's ever been? Because it was on this very day that Abraham Lincoln said, "A house divided cannot stand." He was talking about the Union. Now, we know that he even said that, whether to save slavery or end slavery, it's really about saving the Union. So we're not getting into that. But it's the fact that 3 years after he said those very words, 7,000 men are either killed or wounded within 1 hour of Pickett's charge. 620,000 souls lived their life fighting to keep the Union together. Tell those people that the country has never been more divided. I mean, what a load of crap that the media hopes that we were not present or at least not paying attention in history classes, because they just feed you this stuff over and over again. How are we ever going to be able to celebrate this country's 250th anniversary? We've never been more divided. Please. Right? Did you know in 2008, a poll was taken by Gallup? 13% of Americans were concerned about race relations. 13%. By the time they were finished 10 years later, 48% of us were concerned about race relations in the United States. Really? Half of us looked at the other person if they were a different color and they were concerned? Way to go, media. Way to go. And they don't care about you or me. All they care about is whether they make money. You could see it. When Trump was out of office, they lost money. Trump comes back in office, they make money, depending on what side they're on. Fox stock goes up, MSNBC goes down, CNN loses viewers, they lose money, everybody's unhappy. They need people to fight. They don't need people to be like Richard Rowland. He was a 19-year-old sergeant from South Carolina. It was December 13th and 14th, and he was sitting there behind a stone wall. He was protected from the enemy on the other side. But there were Union soldiers that were slowly dying. They needed water. And after about 2 days of this, the young 19-year-old went to his captain and said, I can't take it anymore. I got to do something. I'm going to go over. I'm going to bring them water. The captain, can I take a white cloth? Can I take a handkerchief? Can I climb over the wall and give them water? I can't take the sounds of them dying. The captain said, no, you cannot take a white handkerchief. You can't do that, but you climb over that wall, they're going to shoot you, son, and you're going to die. And he said, I don't care. I'm going over. So he climbs over the wall. As soon as he gets over the wall, shots begin to ring out. They think he's there to rob either the dead or the wounded, that the young sergeant is. He's carrying a canteen, and shots 3 or 4 whiz by his head. He leans down, picks up the head of a dying soldier, and gives him water. Then runs back to silence, not of anybody firing any weapons. He comes back over the wall, gets canteens, more water, as much as he could carry, and does it again and again and again. Couldn't take the sound of the dying without doing something. So we need to turn down or turn off the media, the corporate media that tell us that we all hate one another. And hear instead the sound of your fellow man, either crying out in pain or peals of laughter, whatever it is, however they're going to celebrate. But we, this 4th of July, can declare our independence from the holy pile of that the media dumps on us every single day, and have some idea of what this country has gone through, what it will go through, and it is stronger because of it. Happy birthday, America. There you go. Boom. Yeah, I was reading stuff today. I was like, oh, come on. Come on. How dumb do they think we are?
Very.
How many times a week do I say that? I just can't stand it. And then you read this stuff. Someone went on Twitter last night, because I never get on Twitter, but I saw, boy, the stuff that people pump out there. Holy moly. Man, I wish I could curse on this show. Can I get one S-bomb a year? Can I do that?
You cursed yesterday.
I wasn't a curse. I was doing a ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, and Andrew panicked.
And you accident.
I didn't.
I mean, he dumped it.
Seriously. Can I get that from, would they do that? One S-bomb. No,
you
Andrew?
can do it. We just have to dump it.
I don't want you. Then that's upset, Andrew. Anyway, you with me on that?
100%. I mean, and the loudest voices get amplified the most, which is a pretty small minority, but they get the most attention, and that's the same thing that the mainstream media does on television.
Here's the crazy thing. A little thought experiment. So now we're going to tell you the story about the 23 people that were involved in the FBI broke up what they thought was going to be a terrorist attack there at the White House at the UFC fight. So they've arrested, I think, 5. They've got this one guy from Ohio, another guy from Kentucky. I think they've got 23 altogether. I think they've arrested 5 of them. But they're finding, as they're laying this stuff out, that they had planned this attack. And here's what they're going to do. They were going to have drones drop bombs on buildings around the White House, to the right and left of the White House. At that point, there would be an emergency call. Then everybody would have to get up and leave quickly. You got 5,000 people there, and then they'd just have snipers picking them off as they were leaving. That was the plan that the FBI intercepted from these guys sending these messages back and forth, right? So the question is, and I see your face, Joe.
What?
But you're like, well, I don't believe it.
No, I
okay, let's accept.
We'll get to that
Okay,
later,
let's accept this, all right? So the question is, now you're hearing from people telling that tone it down, right? Tone it down, tone it down, tone it down, tone it down. This president
Lower the temperature.
Lower the temperatures. This president has more attempts on his life than any other president. Just tone it down. The question is, do you think the media would? Do you think they would have wanted that attack to occur? And let's use the same mindset that the U.S. government has done. Ends justify the means, right? We're going to go in, we're going to fake this, we're going to go to Cuba, we're going to do that, we're going to, ends going to justify the means.
The guys in the C-suite? Absolutely.
Right. That it's great for ratings. Great for ratings, right? So they look at this. Of course, if you were to ask them, they'd be, oh, God, it's horrible. But they know that would be so great for ratings, right? They would make so much money off of that. And then think about what would happen after that, right? What happens if that thing had occurred? Just like it was New Year's Eve. I think it was the one in L.A. that they were able to break up. I mean, they were able to catch that one and break that one up. But then you get into the rabbit hole stuff where you're like, no, they wanted this thing to happen, that somebody would allow it to happen to foment, an uprising, almost another civil war. But the thing is on that, what are they fighting over? If a civil war did occur. So with Lincoln say the House divided, cannot stand. And he was basically trying to keep the Union together for a variety of reasons. Slavery is it wasn't the top reason. But here, what would the battle be over? How would you know? They're fighting over land? Are we fighting over, at what point would it end? Left battling the right? I mean, what are you fighting for? Power?
These morons didn't have a real good manifesto laid out.
I don't know what the manifesto was.
Well, they didn't really.
Dylan Roof, who went into that church, said that he was trying to start a race riot, right?
Right.
Okay, that moron, right?
Right.
But in this case, they would go in there and shoot a bunch of people. Obviously, there would be some response to it. They did. What their motive was that they wanted to destroy the power brokers that they feel control the government, control the world, and they're all benefiting from this inner group that's taking over from the rest of us. You hear, Elon Musk is a trillionaire, so everybody else is getting poor, and it's the imbalance and all this other stuff. So that's the guy from Ohio is like, we're going to rise up and overthrow them, right? That's what they're saying.
Essentially, but less eloquently than that. It was, the mishandling of the Epstein files and the elites.
Yeah, the elite power brokers that are controlling everything and controlling us.
They don't know what
right?
the word broker means. These guys were morons.
Okay.
So, as illustrated.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so in order to be legitimately terrorists, they have to have an IQ above 80?
Well, in order to ignite an actual civil war, which nobody's asking for. It just exactly to your point. These are a small minority of people that get big headlines, and that's it. Most people are not interested in a civil war of any kind.
Would it be considered an insurrection? No, because it's not the right side. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
Thank you, Johnny. Eastbound 90 mid-span. We've opened up 2 right lanes. We still have a trooper with a car, though, on your right shoulder as they await a tow. It's not blocking, but traffic still slows at the scene. So we're backed up to I-5. Seattle to Bellevue's got about a 10-minute delay. North 5 into Seattle. We're bumper to bumper now at the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. South 5 is packed from 85th to I-90. About a half hour now from Linwood in the downtown. Bellevue to Renton on 405. Plan on 35 minutes. We've got a steady backup from 520 to Northeast 44th there near the VMAC. Really thick from mid-Bellevue through Factoria. Seattle to Federal Way up to a 40-minute commute. It's heavy from the Duwamish Curve all the way down to 516. Tacoma to Olympia is at 40 minutes. And we now have a wind advisory in effect crossing the Tacoma Narrows Bridge. KIRO Newsradio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hey, Hey there, Dawn Riling from Olympic Hot Tub with exciting news. Our mid-year clearance event is on. You'll score big savings on all in-stock saltwater hot tubs and fabulous saunas. Plus, deep discounts on newly released floor model swim spas. These deals are incredible. But don't wait. Our mid-year clearance ends June 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. If your summer home improvement list has a new roof, siding, or a gutter upgrade, you owe it to your home to give Valentine Roofing a call. And once again, they've been awarded the best in the Pacific Northwest for roofing by the Seattle Times in 2025. And right now, qualified homeowners can take advantage of $0 down and 0% financing with 6 months deferred interest when paid in full within the promotional period. Financing subject to approved credit. Call 206 Roofing today, and remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
You bought an RV, and you got an automatic discount from Progressive by bundling it with your home or auto insurance. That's great, but a serious word of warning every RVer should heed. You don't need to talk about things like dry weight or dump stations. And you don't need one of those expensive water filter straws either. Because the most extreme thing most RVers encounter is a campsite without hookups. So just enjoy yourself and Progressive's automatic discount when you bundle your RV, boat, or motorcycle with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz here again with Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. Greg, there are some folks getting CP 504 notices. This is not something that should be ignored. You need a professional.
When you receive a CP 504 notice, alarm bells need to go off. And as much as you just want to push that envelope aside, because they know it's not going to be good. And it's not a very good notice to get, because it means the IRS is really coming down on you hard. Get help right away. Call somebody that knows what they're doing and get some assistance.
How have you helped?
We help them by understanding exactly where they're at. We interview them, we talk with them, find out. We'd like to know, how did you get here? And then we make a plan whereby we do our level best to help people with this struggle they are having now with their taxes.
Judgment-free.
Judgment-free.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn with None Better Tax Resolution. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
I was walking my dog. I fell and ended up with 3 tears in my meniscus. I was sent to a surgeon and they said the only way to get this fixed is to have surgery. That just wasn't an option. I didn't want to jump into surgery without trying anything else.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. We offer Jamie an alternative to the downtime and potential risks associated with invasive knee surgery. At Sound Pain Solutions, we help patients like Jamie avoid the side effects of painkillers, cortisone injections, and pain following surgery. Our comprehensive approach includes treatments like pressure wave, PRP, and advanced laser. These treatments reduce pain and restore mobility naturally. Now Jamie is able to do everything she enjoys without pain.
I'm grateful for being able to wake up every day and not be in pain. To be able to go about my day has been amazing.
Schedule a free consultation to learn if you qualify for our non-surgical and drug-free joint treatments at soundpainsolutions.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. 4, 6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
KIRO News Radio. Breaking news.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. 2 hikers are hurt after a bear attack on Mount Si near North Bend. Rescue crews were called to the scene around 12:45 this afternoon after reports of an aggressive encounter on the trail. Catherine Imboden is with the Eastside Fire and Rescue crews. She tells me at least one of the injured hikers is a teenager.
They're not life-threatening injuries, but they are significant, and obviously they weren't able to hike down by themselves.
Right now, all Mount Si trails are closed as wildlife officers search for that bear. 2 Boeing workers are among the dead after Monday's crash of a B-52 bomber in Southern California's Mojave Desert. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi reports.
Those 2 Boeing employees were part of an 8-person crew, which included a mix of military personnel, government civilians, and government contractors. The B-52 went down shortly after takeoff during a routine test mission supporting the radar modernization program. Seattle-based pilot and aviation expert John Nance tells ABC7 in Los Angeles.
They're 50 or 60 years old, but they're maintained meticulously, and there's no reason that they can't last another 50 years. What went wrong here is going to be a puzzle to find out.
The Air Force says the investigation could take 6 months. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
President Trump says the potential deal to end the war with Iran includes reopening the Strait of Hormuz. Do not expect pre-war prices at the pump anytime soon, however. Gas Buddies Patrick DeHaan tells Seattle's Morning News there's still a massive backlog in oil supply.
We have never seen prices go up for such amount of sustained time. Well over a month, prices were going up almost every day. So that is going to take probably a year to unwind all of those impacts. And that's if this deal gets signed.
U.S. and Iran are set to sign that deal on Friday in Geneva. SpaceX rockets past Amazon in market value. Elon Musk's company is now surging since its record-setting IPO last week. At its peak today, SpaceX was worth about $2.9 trillion. Amazon's valued at $2.6 trillion. Company is now among the 5 most valuable in the world. To the real-time traffic desk now at 3:32. Here's Nate Connors.
Thanks, Aaron. Eastbound 90 mid-span. We've got this collision on your right shoulder, really right close to that right lane. So if you can, head over, move out of that lane. Otherwise, slow way down. At any rate, we're just waiting on a tow to get this out of your way. You're backed up onto I-5. Seattle to Bellevue has about a 10-minute delay, taking you about 25 minutes. North 5 into Seattle, we're bumper to bumper at the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. South 5, bumper to bumper from 85th to I-90. Half hour now from Linwood in the downtown. Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett are both pushing 55-minute commutes. Seattle to Federal Way is a 40-minute commute. We've got heavy volumes already from the Duwamish Curve down to 516. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway is a 45-minute commute. And just past 516, we have a new collision in the left lane. Looks like they're getting ready to clear this over to your right shoulder as we speak. And Tacoma to Olympia, a 40-minute commute, which isn't bad. You're slow through South Tacoma. Minor backup at the JBLM main gate and more minor crowding heading into Olympia. KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. Now to the forecast. Mostly sunny skies through the rest of the week. Mid-70s today and again tomorrow. Upper 70s for Friday. Right now, 75 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Home Comfort Alliance. Home Comfort Alliance. Alliance. Ooh, I like this part. Ooh, it's chilly in here. I guess I have Home Comfort Alliance to thank. Ooh, it's warming up fast. Home Comfort Alliance. I don't know where the song's going. I have no idea. I listened back to the show the other day when we were doing the one about the detective. Remember that? And it sounded like the detective music, and then I had him like in a rumpled shirt. He was always, I had a whole character built around.
The noir one.
Yeah.
How'd it sound?
It was good. I like the show. I listened back to like the show. It's good. But I have to be careful with my voice. That my voice doesn't all of a sudden get scammed, and then somebody cash in on it. This should just fall under the category of a sucker's born every minute, right? A man from Ontario who, if this guy has no shame, goes forward to say that he's out $6,000 after falling victim to a phone scam where the fraudsters said they were able to make the the call came in sounding like it was his son. Here.
Neil asked us to shield his identity.
Yeah, I'd ask my identity to be shielded as well.
But he wanted to share what happened to him to warn others. About a week ago,
You have to be as dumb as me in order for this to happen to you.
Got a phone call from someone claiming to be his son.
My son said, do you know who this is? And I said, yes.
Yes, because you sound just like me, Dad.
It's an odd way to start a conversation with your father.
It's Brian. He said, that's right. I thought I was talking to him because it was his voice.
The callers,
because you sounded like an ogre, like me,
said he had been in a serious car accident and was facing charges for talking on his phone while driving. A man who claimed to be his son's lawyer said he needed money or his son would spend the night in jail.
The lawyer said I needed to post bail of $6,000 to get Brian out of jail. An Uber driver arrived and I handed him the package with the $6,000 in it.
Neil says after he sent the bail money, he called his son the following day to check on him.
I happened to call Brian the next day and asked how the meeting with the lawyer went, and he said, what lawyer? And I said, well, what about the accident you were in? He said, what accident? And then I realized that I had been scammed.
First of all, okay, he was in a serious accident, but he's not in the hospital, but he has a lawyer. The whole thing doesn't make sense.
He got arrested somehow. I think it was.
Okay.
He was looking at his phone.
Yes.
What he told us.
Cyber experts say how easy it is to avoid this scam. Just, try to keep enough blood in your brain.
What they can do just by getting about 10 seconds of anyone's voice, they can recreate that voice to sound exactly like that person.
To avoid AI scams, don't post videos on social media.
Oh, well, there we go.
Don't answer calls from numbers you don't recognize. Have a family safety phrase or code word.
I like safety
in an
phrase.
emergency, call family members directly. Never send cash, and don't be rushed to make decisions. Neil regrets losing $6,000, but says in the moment, he really thought the caller was his son.
Well, I can tell you that now they have managed to simulate that voice, and you believe it's real.
It's pretty amazing. The whole story is the fact the guy had $6,000 cash in his house.
And then
he gave it to the Uber driver.
And then didn't bother calling till the next day.
The next day?
Didn't say, hey, are you out of jail? Just said, how did the meeting go?
Have you been able to duplicate my voice?
Okay, so I've been working on this all day.
Oh, yeah. Good use of time.
I don't think it's going to fool your wife or anybody, but it's getting close. And we do have I fed it, maybe 10 minutes of you talking.
Oh, my God.
So
that's where the smoke was coming out of your machine I was sitting next to.
So here's you reading the first paragraph of that story, by the way.
A man from Ontario says he is out $6,000 after falling victim to a scam phone call from a fraudster who he said sounded exactly like his son.
Okay,
It's not bad.
That's not bad.
But there's all kinds of parameters you tweak, like how the speed in which he talks.
Like getting choked up, talking about the Civil War.
Oh my God. Do you need to go back to longevity?
Yeah, something's wrong with me.
Here's
I read for an hour of all of these diary entries. Ugh, it just kills you. Anyway, go ahead.
Here you go again.
Shush.
Okay.
Hey, it's Curly. Look, I up. I got into a bad car accident. Nick is hurt pretty bad, and I need your help. I'm in jail and need cash to bail out. Can you Venmo me a couple $1,000 so I can get out of here and get to the hospital? I'm good for it.
Wow.
Thanks, Joe. Also, Obama is the greatest president that ever lived. And Milton Friedman is a moron.
Ooh,
the moron.
And I've never loved dogs. I hate them, actually.
Oh, God. You could really destroy somebody's career.
Absolutely.
I don't either.
And that moron was really, really nice. Let's
Yeah.
get that again.
Greatest president that ever lived. And Milton Friedman is a moron.
That's pretty good. So we could call up Nick. You could have the computer drop. You could do drop-ins.
Yeah, so we could do like a sound bank. And here's just a quick thing for Nick.
Hey, Nick, it's me. Can you call Rye and ask him to feed Twig?
Yeah, she'd fall for that.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we just have to plot out our sound bank and set her up for a little prank call tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. We'll try it tomorrow. We'll just need enough little weird drops and stuff like that.
By the way, here's you reading Ben Franklin's
What,
favorite quote.
stop?
Those who would give up essential liberty to purchase a little temporary safety
And this is
deserve neither liberty nor safety.
Okay, and that's because I knew that because Andrew knew that quote.
Sort of.
Something.
But you guys butchered it. But now maybe we could just have AI read the letters for you.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Or just read these monologues that I write, and then I can't even read my own writing.
Yeah, you barely have to come in.
All right, well, there. Just lesson learned for everybody that you're an Ontario man with $6,000 sitting around.
Yeah, don't post videos on social media.
Yeah, don't do that either.
You are doomed. There is years of content to clone from you.
The latest on the FBI thing, and where are you on this one? You don't believe it?
No, I believe it. I just think it was absolutely not going to happen. Even the Secret Service is shading Kash Patel because he came out and tweeted about it, and they're like, "Look, we're trying not to leak this because they don't want to look like idiots. The only reason they know about it is because some guy's the 19-year-old in Ohio's mom called the FBI and told him about it.
They didn't even tell the president about it. So the president he's in France, right? No, it's the G7 leaders, right?
Yeah. But they, at that point, so the Secret Service, I think just to, this is one of many threats. They get all kinds of, chatter and stuff like that, and they were shutting it down.
But they were in Virginia. The 23 of them had gone to Virginia. They were all there.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. That was their plan, was to meet up in Virginia, but they never got anywhere near that.
I think they were in Virginia.
Trust me. Nobody was in Virginia. They arrested the guy in Ohio, the other couple of them in California. It never got close to happening. And we probably wouldn't have heard about it because the Secret Service was keeping a lid on it, but Kash Patel came out and said, we thwarted this big thing.
Right, somebody give me a beer.
Yeah, he wanted a headline out of it. And even the head of Secret Service is like, this was amateur hour. There's a reason we don't leak stuff like this because it happens every day.
Okay. I don't want to say anything because I don't want you to record it and then we will test your intelligence in just a bit. We'll tell a joke, and if you find it funny or if you find it offensive, it's going to tell us how bright you are.
Wow, that's a tease.
Thank you, gassy old lady. Golly. Light a match. Here's Nate. By the way, bumper bets, go.
Okay.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I got mine. Joe's got his.
3.
Here we go.
2.
Go.
Vaughn. Eastbound 90 midspan, your right lane is now fully blocked by a trooper while we wait for a tow to clear this damaged vehicle. So we're back to bumper onto I-5. Seattle to Bellevue, just under 25 minutes. Otherwise, our lake bridges are wide open. Westbound 520 jams up in Montlake. Looks like Andrew lost already. Seattle to Everett, 50 minutes. We're slow from the U District into Mill Creek. You're close to the speed limit, though, through most of this. Bellevue to Everett, 55. Scattered backups from mid-Bellevue into Alderwood. Everett to Marysville, just under 20 minutes, but North 5 is bumper to bumper at the 526 interchange, just briefly for about a mile, and then it's scattered into Marysville. And southbound 167 through Kent, approaching South 277. The collision partially blocks the right exit lane. You're backed up to 405. Right now, Renton to Auburn is going to take it 20 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nathan. Joe wins. Let's see. You'll win as well. Cooling system or heating system. The best way to go is with Home Comfort Alliance, especially with Carrier as well. Why Carrier? Well, they lead the industry with efficiency, dependability, low energy bills, quieter operations, systems built to handle the hottest summer days without breaking a sweat. If you're making the investment in your home, the best way to go is Carrier. It is a smart choice. Timing's good, too. You can save up to $3,000 off with PSE rebates. You want to turn to the experts, Carrier and Home Comfort Alliance. You're going to be able to get great discounts as well. And the nice thing about Home Comfort Alliance, go online, you see all the great Google reviews. People really appreciate that when Home Comfort Alliance treats the person's house, the customer's house, just like they're in their own home, with care, expertise that you can count on every single time. For heating, cooling, plumbing, or electrical needs, you want to call the comfort people at Home Comfort Alliance. Visit homecomfortalliance.com today.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
Clutter happens. Let Closets by Design save the day. For a limited time, get 40% off plus an additional 15% off and 18 months 0% financing on approved credit if paid in full. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better, live stronger. Start now.
How does your roof look after this winter? Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. Spring into action today. Save $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Pump up the volume. Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
You know what you can trust? The protection you get when you bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive. You know what you can't trust? Everything else, apparently. Like when you saw that article that said that thing you eat every day is a superfood and great for your gut health. But then 30 seconds later, a different article warns you to avoid it and it's taking years off your life. Well, which is it? Kind of a big difference there. Anyway, bundle home and auto insurance with Progressive for reliable coverage in a reliably unreliable world. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
G. Scott here. Safeway wants you to know SunBucks gives qualifying families $120 per child for summer groceries. Some families are signed up automatically. Others need to apply. Find out if you should apply at freesummermeals.org.
Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle
Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
Clogged gutters? Not anymore. K-Guard by Guardian keeps leaves out, water flowing, and your home protected year-round. No maintenance, no rust, just lasting peace of mind. Guardian Roofing, the original Make Your Roof Last company. Visit GuardianRoofing.com.
All right, so this is a test of your intelligence. 2017, psychiatrist Ural Willingner conducted a study at Medical University in Vienna on the subject of gallows humor. All right, so Joe, you will tell the joke, and then the audience will either laugh or not laugh, and then we'll tell you by your reaction to the joke whether you're smart or not. Are you ready? Andrew, a rim shot. Here we go. Joe, hold on. Next comedian's got an HBO special. Great guy. Give it up for Joe Wallace, everybody. Joe Wallace.
Hey, thanks for having me. Great crowd tonight. My grief counselor died.
Hey, you suck, man.
He was so good, I don't even care. My grandma has the heart of a lion and a lifetime ban from the zoo.
I do not get it.
A guy on his deathbed smells his wife cooking delicious brisket. He asks his son to bring him a plate, but the son comes back empty-handed and says, Mom says it's for the funeral.
All right, Joe Wallace, everybody.
Yay.
Give it up for Joe. All right, he's going to be at the Laugh Shack. All right, you're going to do a little crowd work next. What do you do for a living? You've seen those comedians do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you found any of those funny, if you laughed at them, Joe's delivery sucked, but people that enjoy dark humor might be smarter than everyone else, according to the science. All in all, 156 adults took part in the study, 76 women, 80 men, different educational backgrounds. Their verbal intelligence was measured using vocabulary tests. Researchers then analyzed nonverbal IQ tests in the study, and they found those that laughed at dark humor tended to be smarter than those that found it offensive. The salad, a morbid play on words suggesting you stabbed lettuce 23 times for the Caesar. Well, they're explaining. I didn't read it.
Me neither. Those are cold reads, by the way. Let's hear your delivery. Ladies and gentlemen, John Curley.
Well, hold on.
Welcome to the stage.
Hang on, everybody. Let me get it. Wait, hold on. Let me get one here. Hang on, folks. I want to tell you. It's like Bob Hope. Where'd you find those? The best are like Family Guy stuff, but we can't play those.
Guys, there's a
no,
reason.
No, stop. Shush. I can't play those. Give me one. Where you got any?
I honestly Googled in the last 15 seconds when you said, find me some jokes.
This is a great segment, guys.
Yeah, no, hold on. Here's the other one. This was the test that was done when the guy said the funniest joke in the world, right? And they went all around all these different countries, and they finally came down. They've had the funniest joke. They tested them with everybody. And when people said, but that's the funniest joke, that's mean. That's a terrible joke. It tended to be a dark humor joke, which was this. That a guy's out hunting with his friend, he accidentally shoots him. He calls 911 and says, my friend is shot. What should I do? And the person on the other end said, well, you got to make sure that he's dead. No, is that what he did?
Here.
I'll tell you the joke. It's the two hunters in the woods.
Yeah.
One of them falls over, lays motionless on the ground. The other one panics, whips out his cell phone, phones emergency services, says, my goodness, my friend's laying there motionless. What am I going to do? The person says, look, calm down. We're here to help. First of all, we have to make certain he's dead. And then she hears a silence on the phone, then a gunshot. The hunter comes back and says, okay, now what?
There it is. Okay. Yeah, Teeny, we know you don't get it.
You want to hear yours again? Your version of that joke?
No.
The hunter shoots his friend and calls 911.
Stop it. Stop recording my voice. It's bad enough the first time.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I don't need Nate in there.
Huh?
Yeah, the old peanut galley.
Oh, Nate's our biggest critic.
Yeah, I know he is. All right. Do you want to bet again? By the way, Joe won the last one?
I think so.
All right. Bets in.
Take your bets, 3, 2,
Here we go,
1. Global Credit Union has the update. Well, we cleared our crash eastbound 90 mid-span, but it is still packed from I-5 right out to the Lake Bridge. South 5 into Seattle, jam-packed from Northgate to I-90. North 5 still crowded from Lake City Way up into Mill Creek, leaving Seattle. Southbound 99 is packed from the approaching the Aurora Bridge about mid-Lake Union. Seattle to Federal Way, we're at 40-minute commute. Tacoma to Olympia, 45 minutes. In Kent, southbound 167 approaching South 277th. This collision still partially blocks that right exit lane, so we're backed up all the way to 405. That's a thick backup. All of a sudden, Renton to Auburn is up to a 35-minute drive, about a 20-minute delay. Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. Learn more at globalcu.org. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors. Who won?
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM.
Nick, you know what my dad always used to say?
Oh, which thing? Let me guess. If you put anything on a hot dog besides mustard, it's un-American?
Okay, that's true. Okay, but no, about the word worry. Remember he used to say about the word worry?
Yes, that it's not a verb, but it actually is.
I know it's a verb, but Nick, his point was nothing comes from worrying. You can sit here and worry about all the news and all about the chaos in the world. You worry about your health, but nothing comes of it. You have to take action.
Right.
Like, for instance, you and I, we go into Longevity Medical Clinic. That's an action. It's about taking that action. Like, people can go to Longevity Medical Clinic to get the free health analysis, and then they can find out how they're aging and the things they can do in order to slow down the process to have a big, full, rich life so you can enjoy a hot dog with whatever you want on it.
And now worry is a verb.
See, there you go. So it all starts for you taking action. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit, Accurate Auto Body.
KIRO News Radio.
Get on the YouTube channel.
We're live all day on YouTube. Every show, every day.
Hang out with us. The whole gang's there.
And you never know what you might see.
Back up the camera. Oh, my God.
Just search KIRO News Radio, then subscribe.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Spike O'Neill here for Ageless Living. Recently, my aunt had surgery and she was home the next day. But we weren't sure if we were ready or equipped to give the kind of care that she needed, so we called Ageless Living and asked about respite care. A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Ageless Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to agelessliving.com/spike and schedule a visit. It can be a much-needed break for a caregiver and a chance for you and your family to get a look and a taste of what Ageless Living offers. That's agelessliving.com/spike.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
RV buyers save thousands at the 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds. Top manufacturers with every floor plan imaginable, exclusive dealer rebates, huge discounts on new and used models, factory reps on site, enjoy free lunch, plus a year's worth of free camping. The 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe, hosted by Open Road RV, free parking and admission.
For the ones who get it done, Grainger offers the professional-grade products you need, delivered when and where you need them. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The investigation continues into what federal authorities describe as a failed plot to carry out a drone attack during the UFC event at the White House. 5 people have been charged, and the group of nearly 24 were using signal chat to communicate. Here's ABC's Stephen Portnoy.
Officials say multiple suspects in multiple states were involved in the plot to target the UFC fight. Secret Service Deputy Director Matthew Quinn told reporters.
It was an active plot, and it's ongoing.
Quinn says the plot involved the purported use of drones and snipers.
Authorities say not all suspects are yet in custody. Police and emergency crews are searching for a suspect following a double shooting at Wilmington Hospital in Delaware. Officers say they located 2 gunshot victims. The hospital remains on lockdown this hour. Congressional leaders are raising questions over the terms of the so-called Memo of Understanding between Iran and the U.S. President Trump says Iran is expected to finalize that deal Friday, but details not yet public. This is ABC News. In Southern California, officials with Edwards Air Force Base confirming all 8 crew members on board a B-52 that crashed Monday were killed. ABC's Trevor Ault is on scene and has more.
Officials say the B-52 Stratofortress was supporting a test for a radar modernization program. Officials say those on board were a mixed crew of military and civilians supporting the test mission. Boeing confirms 2 of those on board were their employees, adding, quote, "We are in contact with their families and are offering support."
The names of the military members killed have not yet been released publicly. In Southern California, fire crews still battling a wildfire in Riverside County during a week of triple-digit temperatures. Authorities say the shore fire is 25% contained and has charred some 2,600 acres so far. The Federal Reserve Board made day 1 of its meetings and will decide tomorrow what's next for interest rates. It's the first meeting since Kevin Warsh was confirmed as Fed chair. This is ABC News.
A bear attack on Mount Si today. Details after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, let's start you here in Seattle, where South 5 is jam-packed from Northgate down to I-90. North 5 crowded from Lake City Way up into Mill Creek, north of the city. Seattle to Everett's going to take you 50 minutes, about 35 to Linwood. Bellevue to Everett, 50 minutes, 35 to Linwood. A ditto commute. You're slow from Kirkland all the way to that Alderwood interchange. Once you get into Everett, Everett to Marysville, 15 minutes. It's slow from 526 to 528. Pretty crowded, but again, you're close to the speed limit here, so you are moving along. South Center, northbound 405 near the West Valley Highway. We've got a crash blocking your left general purpose lane. You're backed up to I-5. Still dealing with this collision in Kent, southbound 167 approaching South 277th. It now, though, takes up 2 right lanes, and we're solid starting off at 405. Renton to Auburn, 35 minutes. Tack on another 20 if you're continuing down into Puyallup. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. A bear attack on Mount Si injured 2 hikers today. Trails are now closed as Fish and Wildlife crews search for the animal. Catherine in Bowdoin with Eastside Fire and Rescue says at least one of those hikers is a teenager.
We have one person that was injured by the bear with claw marks, and the second person, I think, was injured from the running from the bear.
The attack happened about 3 miles up the trail. Neither injury is life-threatening. A shooting in Blaine this morning involving a border agent injured one person. Customs and Border Patrol says a firearm was recovered from that scene. KIRO 7 CV's Jason Sloss is there.
Border authorities were involved in a shooting in this residential area around 5:30 this morning. We're at B and 4th Streets. I just talked with a couple of people in the neighborhood who say they heard 3 gunshots, and soon after that, cars and flashing lights came into the neighborhood. We're waiting for more information from the FBI, which has taken over the investigation.
No border agents were hurt. Police say there is no threats to the public. Suspect still on the run after a 6-year-old from Linwood was kidnapped and later found this morning. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Dee Sun reports.
Snohomish County deputies say 6-year-old Eliab Carreno was taken by the suspect, identified as Davy Donato. They say he is the ex-boyfriend of the boy's mom. She says he assaulted her and then drove off with Carreno still in the car. She's expected to be okay. Then at 5:30 this morning, deputies say a family friend found Carreno in their front yard in Shoreline. He is not hurt and is now back with his mother.
We posted a photo of that suspect and a description of his vehicle on mynorthwest.com. A years-long scheme putting fake nurses into Washington care facilities ends in a conviction and prison time. King County jury today found David Njenga guilty on 11 counts, including leading organized crime. That's a first in a state Medicaid fraud case. Prosecutors say he ran a sham staffing agency using stolen identities of real nurses to send unqualified workers into nursing homes. In some cases, they gave patients the wrong medication. And Njenga was sentenced today to more than 14 years in prison. To your forecast now, sunny skies for today and tomorrow and right on into the weekend. Highs in the mid to upper 70s. Right now, 75 and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO Newsradio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News.
Every time I see your face,
yes,
it reminds me of you.
True words never said. John Curley Show, Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. I believe they're still involved.
Indeed.
We haven't voted them out. 1-888-973-54767. Welcome to the show, a man that is apparently a potential existential threat to the county. Keith Swank, let me run the numbers for everybody. The people there, Pierce County, have an opportunity to vote for sheriff. 443,447 ballots cast countywide, 76% turnout. And they like Keith Swank. They want Keith Swank. The people of Pierce County, we like him for sheriff. Sure, he's a little rough around the edges. Sure, his voice doesn't match his face. But we like the guy, all right? I've given the choice. There we go. This is democracy. We vote for him. But then Keith Swank says things that some people don't like. So then this commission, by the way, the turnout for the people voting for the commission was about 38%. Not exactly a mandate. And then they get together and then they spend a whole bunch of time deciding, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get this on the ballot in November. We're going to change the charter so that we would like to get rid of Keith Swank because he is an existential threat to the county. And we're going to ask the voters, are you sure that we want Swank in there? Wouldn't you rather have that we appoint a sheriff rather than allow you, the morons of Pierce County, to vote for the guy or the gal that you want to vote for? We know we're smarter than you. Is that basically am I setting up there, Keith? You have to drink, what is that, vodka? What are you drinking there? A little bit of water? Clear the throat?
A little bit of vodka so I can deal with you, John. But, you're right. That's what it's about. My haters don't like me, and they want to They want to make a sheriff an appointed position, but at the same time, remove me from office.
Yes.
So they do a recall without having to do the recall process of gathering signatures or going to before a judge, talking about my malfeasance and misfeasance and all of that. So
How are you an existential threat? That word gets thrown around a lot by people.
The left likes to throw that word around all the time, right? Existential threat. I don't know. Maybe because crime's down, like burglary's down 43% since I became the sheriff. Violent crime's down 35%. Maybe that's the reason why I'm a threat, because they like to have crime through the roof. It's not down in Tacoma, but it's down in unincorporated Pierce County. So maybe that's the threat to them.
So the county, this commission gets together. It's supposed to be nonpartisan. I don't know, but nobody's nonpartisan.
Oh, it's the most partisan thing you've ever seen.
How long were they in there deciding whether or not they wanted to overrule the voice of the people?
Well, they started that when they had their first meeting back in January. So this has been going on for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
But even before that, in 2021, the Pierce County Council, the executive at the time was Bruce Danmeyer, Republican. The Pierce County Council, Democrats, and Bruce Danmeyer wanted to make the sheriff an appointed position, but they didn't have 2/3 votes on the council to put it on the ballot. So now this is the time they can put it on the ballot.
I see. The people generally like to be able to have the decision in their hands as to who the sheriff is. What that distinction? What happens? Say something, Keith. Say something positive when the sheriff is appointed. What does that do for the people?
Wow, you put me on the spot there about saying something positive about that. An appointed sheriff would do the bidding of the executive. So I don't really know what's a positive there, other than they'll make sure that if there's any illegal activity going on with the council or the executive, that nobody will know about it. They can help cover things up. I guess if that's positive, then that's positive. But for the most part, whenever you're appointed by somebody, you have to do what they want you to do, or you'll be without a job.
Right.
That's why independence of sheriff is so important.
Right. You think about like the Attorney General of the United States appointed by the president. And it's always like, oh, he's supposed to just represent, for the people, make sure the laws are upheld by the people. But he's appointed by the president. So it's always like, It just feels so uncomfortable. It's like, really? You're really going to investigate the family? You're really going to ask Hillary what they talked about on the plane? I mean, all that stuff. It always comes into question. But when the people have a chance to vote, they said, no, we've weighed both sides. And that person's going to be accountable to us in 4 years when they come up for vote again. So for you, don't you think they should have kept their powder dry on this one, Keith, and just said, listen, we'll give the people a chance to vote again if they don't like Swank and what he's done. They give him some time to be able to turn things around in Pierce County. But then if you run again, if they don't like you, they throw you out.
Exactly. That's the way democracy works. But now democracy works by giving the king, Ryan Mello, more power then, right? So this commission wants to empower the executive. But here's the thing. They probably think, and they might be right, that Democrats have control now, so they will do that. Because if it was a Republican executive there, this would not be going on there at all, right? They would not want a Republican picking their sheriff. So it's completely partisan. It's completely political. And they're banking on the fact that this county has turned Democrat.
Yeah. So what do they hope? So it goes on the ballot, and the voters will have a choice. And what will it say on that ballot? Any idea how they're going to frame this and put that thing on there?
I don't know how it will be framed. It probably will be confusing to people. So we'll have to go out there. It might be one of those things. If you vote yes, it means no.
Yeah,
or something.
The old,
you know how they do
like
that, right? To confuse you.
A yes is a no, and a no is a yes. Yeah.
Figure out about that and go out there and campaign against it. I was just telling my wife the other day, I've been so we were campaigning for 6 years straight. Now we're not. And now I'm back at it again for another 6 months or whatever. Or the rest of my term as sheriff, I guess.
So if everything goes the way they would like it to go, when does the existential threat to the county end?
Well, January 1st, 2027, which is halfway through the term that I was elected for, which I believe is unconstitutional. I'm in the process right now with an attorney looking into that. I don't think they can do that, but I don't know if, the the judges or courts will rule in my favor.
Well, if they vote to change the charter, right, they can fix that for themselves. But then your term would end. Will the county have to spend money in order to advertise or promote or push the vote that'll be before the people in November?
Well, elections cost money, but there's already an election going on, so I don't know how much it'll cost. But as far as the county, they better not be pushing for or advocating for this thing and using taxpayer dollars on it. This is an election, so they should stay out of that.
Right.
I don't know for sure, though. You can never trust what's going on with Democrats, though.
Do you, and I asked you this one other time, Keith Swank, I said, do you regret the fact that some of the stuff you said, and I still remember what you said, you go, the only thing I regret is that they only gave me 1 minute and 30 seconds. If they had given me more time, I'm like, Keith, I had you on, I'm like, Keith, do yourself a favor. Just realize that your words are very impactful now as you have this position, and everyone is going to slice and dice this sort of stuff, and you can't be the bull in the china shop. And you're like, I don't care. This is what I know. This is what I believe. This is what I'm serving for. This is what the people want me to do. And now you're on the receiving end of the slings and arrows that are coming at you because your mouth gets you in a lot of trouble, Sheriff.
The Charter Review Commission is the existential threat for Pierce County. So I'm going to stand up and fight. Listen, of course I say provocative things because they're telling me I can only say what they want me to say. So I'm going to go out and say, you should have listened to my last 2-minute spiels at the Charter Review Commission when I told them we should go back to normal language. I started telling what normal language was. It was pretty good. That might have offended some of those people there who want me to be in newspeak like 1984. But and I know, he who controls the language controls the masses. And they're after that to do that. And I'm pushing back. And if I end up that I'm removed from office, then so be it. So be it.
I actually saw that, Keith, a couple of days ago, and you were quoting George Orwell, and you said, listen, a man is a man and a woman is a woman, and I'm not going to use this, and I'm not going to use pronouns, I'm not going to say this. I'm speaking the truth, and then you quoted Orwell again about who controls the language. So you just said, so be it, so be it. So if this thing comes to pass, and because you're stepping outside the lines, then you end up, there you go, right? You got to go get another job because you're not playing by their rules.
No, I don't need a job. This right here is a financial burden for me. I'm not doing this for the money. I make $50,000 less than I made at Seattle whenever I was a captain there. I make $150,000 less than the chief of police for Tacoma. I'm not here for the money. This actually is a financial hardship for me. I can't go out and make money. So I only make $1,000 more a month than I did with my pension. So it's really nothing like that. This is about working for the people. That's what this is about.
Is this hill worth dying on?
Absolutely, it's worth dying on because I don't need this job. If I was needing this job in order to get my pension and everything, then maybe I would be a little bit more reluctant about it. But since I'm not, and when I ran for it, I wasn't in need of a job, I'm not worried about it. But I actually think that people are going to stand up. Even people who don't like me say they want to vote for their sheriff. They want to vote me out of office. They want to do that. But they don't want the executive appointing because they know I might be the executive someday. And then imagine who I would appoint. Well, I would appoint myself sheriff. Imagine that. Executive and sheriff. That's what a king is.
Okay. Let's go through a timeline. So Keith Swank runs for office. People know that you say provocative things, and I'm being respectful. I'm using the word provocative. Some people might describe it as something else, right? Incendiary, or however they react to words, because words are violence, according to some, right? So then you run, but then after you're elected, then it seems, could I say that after you win, then the Keith Swank that people knew come out a little bit more, and you say stuff that people are like, whoa, I don't know if I voted for that guy. Like, they passed this law, which I think is ridiculous, that the sheriff, they're not allowed to wear masks over their face. They got to be able to show their face. So they're in there. So the ICE folks, or the anti-ICE and the anti-police people can dox them and see their face. And you say, I'm not going to enforce that, right? So the person who votes for you, do they feel like, oh my God, Keith's a little rougher than I thought, and he's not the same guy I voted for? Or do you think they knew who you were, Keith Swank, from the time you declared to the time you won to the time you started saying provocative things?
Well, I had people get a hold of me and say, I didn't vote for you because you were from Seattle, so I thought you were woke. And now I'm really glad that you're the sheriff. I'll be voting for you next. So it works both ways. But anybody who knows Pierce County politics knows I've been involved in politics for a while. And, I run for office before, so it's easy to look me up and see that I'm a right winger or whatever you want to call it. And I say stuff that's been provocative. I didn't just say it when I became candidate for sheriff. I've been saying stuff like that for a long time.
Okay. So they knew what they were getting when they elected you.
Yeah, they knew what they were getting. But people that didn't pay attention, they didn't. I mean, like I said, some people said, people might have voted for me and said, oh, he's from Seattle, so he's one of us on the left, right? Seattle PD. And then other people said, no, man, I'm not voting for him. So it works both ways.
Okay. So let's just go through some of your successes just recently. The guy that went in there was his name, Benjamin Lee Brown. Decided that my voice or somebody's voice didn't count if you signed the put your name on the initiative to stop the millionaires tax. Mr. Brown is accused of going in there, and I guess they got him second-degree robbery. Goes in and steals the tax initiative signatures. You found that guy? Were you part of that?
Well, my people found that guy.
Yeah.
Not me. I don't go out and arrest people. I let good cops go do that.
I know, but they went out. They told you they found him, so you got that guy. And then recently there was a school. Was it Graham? Where
Graham Kapowski.
Yeah. What was that one, Keith?
Well, they had a pride display there, and inside of the display was a whole bunch of vials of testosterone, which may or may not have testosterone in the vials, which if they do, it's a controlled substance. So a controlled drug like Schedule 3, like narcotics and stuff. So we're investigating to see how that got there, who put it there, what's the story behind that.
Yeah. I'll tell one of your critics, and I won't tell you who it is, but you could probably guess, or maybe you have a few that come to mind. Said, every time you get Swank on, ask him how many people are applying for jobs to be sheriffs in Pierce County. Why can't he get people to work there? Is it because they don't want to work for him?
Well, you can tell G that people are applying at unprecedented levels now. I'm hiring 8 next Monday. They haven't hired more than 8 people at a time for the sheriff's office for a long time. People are coming because I'm the sheriff. But I will tell you this, if this passes and I'm removed from sheriff in January, there'll be a mass exodus from the sheriff's office. And there will be people who will not be applying. They don't want to apply for somebody who's beholden to the executive, to have to make sure they put the pronouns after their name in the signature block and all this stuff that if you work for Sheriff Swank, you don't have to do that. You're allowed to be a regular person.
I think it's always the cautionary tale is, be careful when you put these rules in place, because if all of a sudden the table flips the other way and the others are in charge, they will impose the same rules against you, right? So always best to have a representative democracy where it is in the voice and it is in the actions of the people as opposed to those that are in power, because the people in power, they get their power from all of us. I think it's a slippery slope that the folks there on the commission find them in, but again, the people will get a chance to decide again. Keith Swank, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
All right. Always a pleasure. There he goes, our sheriff there in Pierce County, who is possibly to be removed as the guy's existential threat from Pierce County.
Those commissioners.
And by the way, it wasn't G. Scott. G is not a fan of Keith Swank, so I didn't realize that.
They go at it on Twitter a lot.
Oh, do they really?
They do.
Oh, okay.
It's fun. Go down that rabbit hole one day.
Is it fun? Okay. Have to get a Twitter account. Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nate on.
All right, this one brought to you by your Seattle Sports. Southbound 167 in Kent approaching South 277th. Still dealing with the collision blocking 2 right lanes. It's been blocking these lanes for about a half hour now, so we're backed up to 180th. Renton to Auburn, 40 minutes. That's double the norm. Once you get through this backup, though, it's all clear right away, all the way down into Pacific. Tacoma to Olympia, you're at a 50-minute commute. Seattle to Federal Way, 45 minutes. It is packed at Interurban Avenue all the way to 516 before you catch a break. Here in Seattle, South 5, jam-packed from Northgate to I-90. Linwood to Seattle has jumped to a 50-minute commute. That is double the norm. North 5 jams up right there at the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. North 5 heading north of Seattle, crowded at Lake City Way into Mill Creek. Seattle to Everett, a 50-minute commute. Bellevue to Everett is also at 50 minutes, and you're slow from about mid-Bellevue all the way up to that Alderwood interchange. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial, 97.3 HD2. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nathan. My hip is great. About a year ago, I wouldn't be able to say that. I have some serious problems. I don't know how it happened. I guess wearing down, getting old. Wasn't able to run. Used to run a whole bunch of 5Ks and half marathons, a couple Ironman, all that other stuff. Couldn't do it. Just gave up on it because the hip was so bad. Couldn't sleep without 2 pillows between my knees, and driving, I had to have this weird foam block. And I went to see a surgeon. He's like, well, we're going to have to give you a new hip. I said, is this the only option? He's like, well, yeah, that's about it. So I think I don't want to get a new hip. I just think there's something else out there. I look up, there's stem cell procedures, and I start calling around and asking around, and everybody tells me there's only one guy to see. That's Dr. Mark Wagner, Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. So I go to see Wagner. After he looks at my MRI and my X-ray, he's like, yeah, I've seen hips like this before. We can fix this thing. It's a 90-minute outpatient procedure. He's done 20,000 of these. And here I am, just I think about 4 months later, running again, feel great. Couldn't believe it. Shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, whatever bugging you before surgery, drmarkwagnermd.com, drmarkwagnermd.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
This is the story of the one. The one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Spring is the perfect time to make improvements that protect and add value to your home. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. For decades, homeowners across the Pacific Northwest have trusted our team for roofing, siding, windows, and custom decking. This spring, save up to $3,000, or qualified homeowners can take advantage of 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest up to 24 months. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free estimate.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 877 Cars for Kids to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now or go to carsforkids.org.
7 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
RV buyers save thousands at the 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds. Top manufacturers with every floor plan imaginable, exclusive dealer rebates, huge discounts on new and used models, factory reps on site, enjoy free lunch, plus a year's worth of free camping. The 10th Annual Summer RV Blowout Sale, June 18th through the 28th at the Evergreen State Fairgrounds in Monroe, hosted by Open Road RV. Free parking and admission.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
From the FIFA World Cup to competitive business environments, grand ambitions lead to game-changing achievements. At Bank of America, we're there to support businesses at every step, providing insights and expertise to help you gain an edge.
He shoots, he scores!
What would you like the power to do? Explore winning business solutions at BofA.com/gamechangers. Bank of America, official bank of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Wendy's new Biggie Deals lets you choose whatever you're in the mood for. It's like a music mixing board of deals and you're the producer. Go with some chill folk music with a JBC in the $4 Biggie Bite snack. Try the drum and bass of deals with a double stack and a $6 Biggie bag. Or go full-on sandwich symphony with an $8 Biggie bundle, the grand finale of snacking. And the best part? They all come with napkins. $4, $6, and $8 Biggie Deals how you want them at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. 2 Boeing workers are among the dead after a B-52 bomber crashed in Southern California's Mojave Deserts. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lenzi has the latest.
Those 2 Boeing employees were part of an 8-person crew, which included a mix of military personnel, government civilians, and government contractors. The B-52 went down shortly after takeoff during a routine test mission supporting the radar modernization program. Seattle-based pilot and aviation expert John Nance tells ABC7 in Los Angeles.
They're 50 or 60 years old, but they're maintained meticulously, and there's no reason that they can't last another 50 years. What went wrong here is going to be a puzzle to find out.
The Air Force says the investigation could take 6 months. Frank Lenzi, KIRO News Radio.
Residents in unincorporated Bremerton woke up to a loud crashing sound early this morning. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more on that.
Kitsap County deputies were called to an apartment complex on Northeast Steeple Rock Lane in unincorporated Bremerton just after 2:30 a.m. Kevin McCarty with the Kitsap County Sheriff's Office says when deputies arrived, they found a damaged garage and at least 1 damaged vehicle.
Sheriff's deputies believe the 19-year-old driver of that car was under the influence of hallucinogenic mushrooms when he drove the car from inside a closed garage.
The man drove away, then returned and was arrested. He now faces multiple charges, including DUI and hit and run. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
President Trump is in France for the G7 summit, talking about that potential deal to end the Iran war.
Here's what it says. Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. That's what it says. It won't have one to buy, to develop. They will not have a nuclear weapon.
The so-called Memorandum of Understanding is said to include the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. Don't expect gas prices to return to pre-war levels anytime soon, however. Gas Buddies Patrick DeHaan tells Seattle's Morning News that may take 6 to maybe 12 months.
You know, we've lost out on 1.5, probably closer to 1.7 billion barrels of oil over these last 115 days. And that doesn't solve itself overnight. It's kind of like filling an Olympic-sized swimming pool with a garden hose. And that's why it's going to take a long time.
U.S. and Iran are set to sign their deal on Friday in Geneva. Now to the real-time traffic desk at 4:32. Here's Nate Connor.
Thanks, Aaron. Home Comfort Alliance has the update. Down in Kent, we've opened up a lane southbound 167 just before South 277th, where a crash now blocks the far right exit lane. So we're backed up to 180th. Renton to Auburn is spiked to a 50-minute commute. That is double the norm. Seattle to Federal Way, we're at 45 minutes. It's packed from Interurban Avenue down to 516. Northbound 405 in the south end is packed from I-5 through the Renton S-curve, South Center to Bellevue, pushing in a half hour. Bellevue to South Center coming the other way. We're at 40 minutes. So it's bumper to bumper from 520 through Cold Creek Parkway. Then it thins out, but then we've got another pretty thick backup there along South Center. South 5 heading into Seattle, bumper to bumper from Northgate to I-90. Linwood to Seattle's a 50-minute commute. That's double the norm. North 5, you're going to jam up at the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. And southbound 99 is packed from the zoo down to the stadiums. Get a new Carrier cooling system now from Home Comfort Alliance and save up to $3,000 in rebates. Visit Home Comfort Alliance. That's homecomfortalliance.com. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Well, after yesterday's record high of 91 degrees, cooler ocean air has arrived. Temperatures in the mid-70s today, mostly sunny. Right now, 75 in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
KIRO 7 News wants to help you keep more of your money. Every day, you'll see stories to help you save on big expenses like gas, groceries, and housing. And we're alerting you to new scams so you can protect more of what's yours. When it comes to your wallet, KIRO 7 has your back. Watch weeknights at 4, 5, 6, and 7 p.m. or see money-saving stories at KIRO7.com/money.
Well said, well read, Joe. Bucky's Auto Service Center.
Take your car to Bucky's.
What's wrong with your car?
Bucky's.
Breaking down, you've got to walk so far to the nearest auto service center.
Take your car to
Bucky's. Take that car to Bucky's.
Take your car to Bucky's. Take your car to Bucky's. Take your car to
Take that car to Bucky's. You better take the car to Bucky's. If you're lucky, take the car to Bucky's.
Take your car to Bucky's.
16 locations, 51 years. That's a lot of time. Okay, stop. I mean, stop. Do you realize if you just kept that going, we go like right into like 7 o'clock?
Forever, yes. I was trying to fade it down, but you kept going.
I know Keith Swank. Have people enjoy the interview with Keith Swank? A little comment that his face doesn't match his voice.
Yeah. Yeah, somebody did point that out. Hang on, hold please.
I listen. People, he's a lightning rod. That thing where we want to have a committee that's appointed by the governor, decide whether or not the sheriff can, serve, even though he's been elected. All these things are. It's all Keith's. They should do the Keith Swank bill, the Keith Swank law, right?
And you should be opposed to it, regardless of how you feel about Keith Swank.
Yeah, don't override the people, right? I mean, they start putting something like that in place. That's a mess. All right, Gavin Newsom. By the way, he has so many accomplishments, defying all expectations. He was able to read, learned how to read, successfully ran multi-billionaires out of the state of California, helped to keep struggling French Laundry restaurant open during the pandemic, and reduce homeless population by 400%. Math doesn't lie. And now he's got some problems. Here he is.
In recent days, federal agents have knocked on the doors of family, friends, and former employees. Not because they found a crime, because they're simply trying to find one. They're demanding records. They're abusing the grand jury process.
Hold on, Governor, 1 second. Here's what happened. Someone in the state of California went to investigators in the state of California and told them, hey, we think there's something kind of suspicious going on with Gavin Newsom's wife and this nonprofit that she's got, and can you investigate? From the state of California to the investigators in the state of California. It started there. Didn't start in Washington, D.C. This is the New York Times has a story, right? So it didn't start from Trump, started in his own state by the people that work for him. All right, so now here are the rest of his explanations.
Through years and years of random documents, Donald Trump isn't just coming after me because of my mean tweets. He's coming after me because I'm considering running for president. One by one, anyone who has challenged Donald Trump has ended up on his hit list. And today, I proudly join that list. After calling for my arrest last year, Donald Trump directed his Department of Justice to investigate me. And just in the last week, I've learned that his campaign has reached my own home.
Oh.
To get me, he's coming after my wife, Jen.
Okay.
To Donald Trump, who I know is watching because he watches everything, I have a message for you.
Okay.
You can subpoena my records. You can investigate me. You can harass me.
Oh, this is about, but not my wife, right? Is it one of those things? Oh, this is going to be good.
Put my name on every and any enemies list you have, but leave my wife and family out of your personal vendetta. I'd like to say something to my wife.
Don't you have her phone number?
Yeah, well, why is he doing it here?
I don't know.
Something like, hey, can you pick up a gallon of milk on the way home? Or can you pick up my sweater from the dry cleaner? Let's see what he's going to say.
These times are not normal. They're not ordinary. I love you, and I'm sorry he's doing this. You have not earned a single one of the indignities that he's trying to inflict on you and our children.
Okay. This is a big, stinky ball story. You have to try to unwind it. By the time you finish unwinding it, you get all the way to the end. You're like, okay, that's it. It gets complicated, but basically what they're trying to do is figure out whether or not Gavin Newsom's wife was and is getting money from nonprofits that she's running, and it really gets into a tax thing. So there you go. But it started in California. It didn't start with the Department of Justice in Washington, D.C. Now, if it had, well, then everything Gavin Newsom said, would people go, well, yeah, it looks like he's coming after him. Everybody knows Trump goes after the people that went after him. That's just the way it goes. Here we are in this, but it's not. So it's really about California. And then Joe thinks, and there's a much more complicated story, which goes back to a fire that started in 2020.
It was 2018.
2018.
Campfire.
Right, a campfire that started, but it happened was it was power lines that were not well maintained, and they were the really ones that caused the fire. So when the utility company was brought in before the investigators, they admitted, yes, we did not maintain it. It was our fault. So the 84 people, I think, that died and the thousands of acres that were destroyed, that's on us. But the thing was, they're a corporation. They didn't put corporations in jail. None of them went to jail on this thing. But they admitted fault, and then money was supposed to be given to the people. And?
Instead of cash, Newsom set up a taxpayer-funded slush fund partially based on the stock price of PG&E, which is the power company that was going to pay out the victims.
Yes.
He was at his infamous French Laundry dinner.
Yeah.
Was with a guy named Jason Kinney, who is the PG&E lobbyist. So that was a really odd time to be having dinner with a guy who you're currently trying to get billions of dollars for people that were victimized by their negligence in this fire. And so when Gavin arranged for the payout to be partially in PG&E stock, and that ended up getting leaked, the stock price tanked. So they essentially overnight, because of his associations with the lobbyist for PG&E, the victims lost several $1 billion of money they were supposed to get.
So then this ties back to the investigation into his wife, because they have the long knives out for Gavin Newsom.
Yes, and these are federal prosecutors in California that have been working on several cases related to the Newsom family since 2021, I think.
Yep.
But it's also clearly he said it in the beginning. He's mad at me because I'm probably going to run for president. So I think he's just posturing for 2028.
Remember when they brought him during the Democratic convention? He was sitting there just salivating, wanting to be president, and Kamala Harris was chosen. And how are you feeling? And he's sort of upset that they didn't actually have a primary; they kind of passed him by.
I'm with him on that.
Yeah, I know. But so here are your three. You get AOC, you get Gavin Newsom, I think Pritchard from Illinois. On Ozempic, losing weight and feeling good, ready to go. But his problem is because he's a billionaire. His father's a billionaire. He's a billionaire or close to a billionaire. So that's not good for him. And then I don't know who else is in the mix. It wouldn't be Josh Shapiro because a lot of Democrats seem to hate Jews right now. So Those are going to be your big three: AOC, Gavin Newsom, and Pritchard from Illinois. Those are your three contenders right there. On the left and on the right, you got Vance, you got Rubio. A few other people might be jumping in, but those seem to be the two main dudes. Oh, wait. Kamala Harris hasn't made her decision yet. What's that noise you're making?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, fine.
Pretty good impression, I think.
Here comes Nate checking traffic. Nathan.
KIRO Newsradio App has the update. In Kent, we cleared that collision southbound 167 near South 277th. Still backed up bumper to 180th. That's a 6-mile backup. Renton to Auburn is at 55 minutes right now. That's a 35-minute delay, but this is opening up for you as we speak. Bellevue to South Center, 40 minutes. You're bumper to bumper from 520 to Cold Creek Parkway, and then you'll thin out into Renton, but then another backup forms there along South Center. South 5 heading into Seattle, jam-packed from Northgate to I-90. Linwood to Seattle is a 50-minute commute. Our lake bridges are looking good. Bellevue to Everett, 1 hour. Scattered backups between Kirkland and Alderwood. Seattle to Everett, 55 minutes. But it is solid from the U District all the way up in through Mill Creek. It begins to thin out a little bit once you get into Shoreline. And Everett to Marysville will plan on a 15-minute trip. Text app APP to 888-973-5476 to download the KIRO News Radio app. You can listen to your favorite shows and get the latest news and updates sent straight to your phone. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nathan. I got to tell you something. Probably 8 months ago when Closets by Design came out to Cleella, out to the barn, and I was skeptical because Nick kept telling me, no, the closet, the bedroom doesn't work. We have no storage in the garage. And when it comes to the other little bedrooms we've got, there's no storage. I was like, I'll hang like a metal bar. It'll look great. It'll look really rustic. She goes, it'll look like crap. Like it's rustic is not what we want. We want to be able to have real storage. I was like, okay, good. Call somebody. So she gets Closets by Design, locally family-run business, been in business for 22 years. And I'm telling you, I am a believer. Unbelievable work, especially in the garage. Complete wall of cabinets, just amazing. And it's totally customized without the giant customized price. They're going to give you 40% off plus 15% off and 18 months 0% financing. So if parts of your house are not working, like maybe the pantry can't find anything, or the downstairs closet next to the door when you walk in, can't find anything in there, have Closets by Design come in and design to get you the space that is already there. It just needs to be properly arranged. 1-800-BY-DESIGN. That's closetsbydesign.com.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better. Live stronger. Start now.
Progressive's Home Quote Explorer helps you easily find and buy the right coverage for you. It's everything you've always wanted. Well, I mean, as far as a website that lets you shop, quote, and buy insurance in one place. But hey, maybe that is everything you've always wanted. Yeah, people have different types of dreams. And if all you've ever been searching for is a website that helps you choose home insurance rates and coverage, boy, do we have great news about Progressive's Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years? During the Xfinity Summer Savings Event, now through June 22nd, new customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi, just $50 a month for 5 years. And get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them, like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, add one line of Xfinity Mobile Select and you can save an average of $60 a month over Verizon and AT&T. You can even try it free for a year. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities during the Xfinity Summer Savings Event. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and auto pay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Savings based on 1 gig internet and 1 mobile select line compared to similar Verizon and AT&T plans over 5 years. After 12 months, regular rates apply to mobile select. Xfinity internet required. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable.
At Guardian Roofing Gutters and Insulation, we know that keeping your home watertight and dry is essential to your family's safety and comfort. Having well-functioning gutters prevents water damage to your home and prolongs the life of your roof. Whether you need a cleaning or a complete gutter install, we do it all. Call today and get $250 off a gutter installation and visit us at guardianroofing.com.
If your water heater's failing or running out too fast, we've got CM Heating's Comfort as a Service program. Get a new system starting at just $44.99 a month with lifetime repairs and maintenance included. Book your free estimate today at cmheating.com.
License number CMHEAHL 750LP.
So, Rob Manfred, this is in 2023. He's the guy that was MLB commissioner. He's basically said in 2023 that we have told teams in terms of actual uniforms, hats, bases, that we don't think putting logos on them is a good idea just because of the desire to protect the players, not putting them in the position of doing something that may make them uncomfortable because of their personal views. So that's what Rob had said in 2023. And then you get, is it San Francisco? Saturday night game against Chicago Cubs. Yeah, Giants pitcher Lenny Roop inscribes Genesis 9/12/16. So it would be, that's about rainbows, I think, right? And in their rainbows, the hat is attached to describe the rainbow that God placed set in the sky. So you've got the rainbow from MLB or the LGBTQ plus thing. That's on the hat. So then he decides, I'm going to write Genesis 9, verse 12-16. And then you get...
The rainbow is a symbol of God's covenant to us, and us as believers stand firm in that. But it's not anything, there's no hate at all. It's just what I stand for and what I stand in. I believe in God, and God has blessed me in so many ways, and I don't think I'll be here right now if it wasn't for Him. So, like I said, there's no hate in it at all. We're, like I said, we live in a country where you're welcome to believe what you want. There's freedom of speech and stuff like that. So that's really all I have to say about that. I'm just thankful that God's put me in this situation, and that I can go out and share His kingdom.
So what's the fallout? Have they told him he can't wear that?
I believe the MLB has said they are threatening to fine players that
to
write on their
express their own position, their own idea. This gets into the whole thing of freedom of speech. Yeah, the freedom of speech extends. The government can't tell you what you can or can't say, can't stop you. But your employer, on the other hand, once you walk onto the field, the employer does have the right to be able to curtail you expressing yourself. And, is it a good idea or a bad idea that the employer can say, you know what, you can't wear this and you can wear that. Your uniform must look like this and must have this on there. The problem, I guess, for this guy as a Christian, he's like, yeah, you're putting something up there. He says, I don't hate, but it's not something. He didn't go to as far as to say, I have a problem with, the LGBTQ plus blah, 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 blah thing. He's just he's adding something to it. So this gets to, we looked at this when it was the NFL. People came out and they were kneeling before the game, right? Or they put something else on their uniforms and they get fined for that. But it's when you're using your players as pawns, or you're using them to promote ideas that they may or may not agree with. Ugh. Don't you just want them to pitch?
Yeah, and who cares if they write a Bible verse on their hat? He still wore the hat. I mean, you get the best of both worlds, right?
Who's the one hockey player was the only one that didn't wear the stuff during some sort of, was it?
Yeah, that was a couple years ago. I don't remember who or what the fallout was.
Is it now the MLBTQ plus?
No rim shot?
That's too late. No, it's not. All right, fine. Here comes Nate checking traffic day live.
Oh, that was a joke? South 5 were jam-packed from Northgate down to I-9. Thank you, Andrew. Linwood to Seattle is a 50-minute drive. That's double the norm. North 5, just a brief backup. We're already starting to clear out. It's slow from the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. Southbound 99, you're bumper to bumper from the zoo to the stadiums. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, just a 20-minute trip on 520, closer to a half hour on I-90. Bellevue to Everett and Seattle to Everett are both hovering right around 1 hour drives. 405, scattered backups between Kirkland and Alderwood. And then you're going to hook into the North 5 backup. And then I-5, we're solid from the U District all the way into Mill Creek. After Shoreline, it starts to thin out a bit for you. Tacoma to Olympia, plan on 45 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Step inside and let the excitement take you places. This is Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the ultimate spot for action that reaches incredible heights, luxury that knows no bounds, and live entertainment that always thrills. It's all at one incredible destination. So when you look for the best, look nowhere else. Muckleshoot Casino Resort, the biggest and best in the Northwest. Muckleshoot.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo.
Your best source for local news.
Newly released police video shows the arrest of a 17-year-old.
KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Always exhausted, loud snoring, keeping your partner awake? You could have sleep apnea and not even know it. South Seattle Smiles has a comfortable solution with no CPAP required. Most medical insurance accepted. Call 206-241-5533 today. SouthSeattleSmiles.com.
Olympic Hot Tubs mid-year clearance event is on. Score big savings on saltwater hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Hurry, our mid-year clearance and these incredible deals end June 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Join the conversation and text your favorite show on the KIRO News Radio text line at 888-973-KIRO. That's 888-973-5476. Powered by Muckleshoot Casino Resort.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. Summer means I have a laundry list of exterior home improvements to tackle and no time to do it. Fortunately, the team in the red van has me covered. And of course, I'm talking about Valentine Roofing, the pros that keep me off extension ladders and precarious positions. If your summer home improvement list has a new roof, siding, or a gutter upgrade, you owe it to your home to give Valentine Roofing a call. Once again, they've been awarded the 2025 Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards for Roofing by the Seattle Times. And it really comes down to two things: the best product backed by a lifetime warranty and exceptional customer service. They call that the Valentine Experience. It's seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. And right now, qualified homeowners can take advantage of $0 down, 0% financing with 6 months deferred interest when paid in full within the promotional period. Financing subject to approved credit. Call 206 Roofing to schedule your free estimate today. That's 206 Roofing. And remember, when you see the red Valentine van, you know your home is in good hands.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it, and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Nick, you know what's a great thing about going to Longevity Medical Clinic as a couple?
Oh, I absolutely do. When they tell you to do something, you actually do it.
Right. And the same thing with you. When they tell you to do it, because for some reason, when I tell you to do it, you're like, whoa.
I just walk away and roll my eyes.
Exactly. But the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic, the doctors there know, because we do the blood draw and they look and they can see. They know. They hold us accountable.
Yeah, when I'm under pressure and I know I'm coming in, I know I have to work the program.
Right. Plus, we also want to hold each other accountable for how we take care of ourselves because, you know, we want to have a long, healthy, happy life.
I know. I want every day to torture you as long as I possibly can.
Well, I look forward to it. Here's the great thing about Longevity Medical Clinic. They're working with you. They're holding you accountable because they want you to have a long, healthy, happy life. I was a patient at Longevity long before I started doing these commercials. So get your free health analysis. Go to lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. A hospital employee allegedly shooting 2 co-workers at Wilmington Hospital in Delaware this afternoon. Manhunt this hour for the suspect. Hospital employee Brian Peffer.
But it was pretty scary. It was pretty intense. My prayers are out with everyone because it's pretty scary. You know, I've never been a part of anything like that.
David Carras with Wilmington Police.
Right now, we still have officers from a number of agencies that are searching the building.
A plot thwarted by the FBI to use explosive drones to target buildings near the White House during the UFC match there on Sunday. 5 people in custody. 1 person has been charged. President Trump in Europe continuing to tout his agreement with Iran. And during a podcast interview today, Vice President J.D. Vance said that Trump could release the text of the memorandum of understanding as soon as tomorrow. A federal judge has struck down an Idaho law that would have made it a criminal offense to use a bathroom designated differently from one's gender at birth. This is ABC News. Republican Governor Mike DeWine says Ohio should abolish the death penalty, saying it's no longer a deterrent to violent crime.
The legislature can take this action, and I believe they should take this action. But if the legislature does not want to make that decision, they can leave it up to a vote of the people of the state of Ohio.
Other Republican leaders in Ohio have repeatedly said they disagree with DeWine, and a state repeal so far appears unlikely. Google announced new parental controls on all Android devices that they say will make it easier for parents to manage their child's screen time and find balance. Google devices will now allow parents to create downtime schedules, set App Store filters, and control app usage. In honor of America's 250th, McDonald's is bringing back its fried apple pies for the first time in more than 3 decades. They'll be available at most U.S. restaurants for a limited time only, as they say, starting June 23rd. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Coming up, a border agent opens fire in Blaine. The very latest after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, here in southbound I-5 heading into Seattle, it is jam-packed from North Gateway all the way to the Convention Center. Everett to Seattle, an hour and 10-minute commute. 50 from Linwood. Everett to Bellevue, 35 minutes. Obviously pretty much wide open here. So North 5 heading into Seattle, just a brief backup at the West Seattle Bridge in the downtown. This backup is clearing out with every report. Bellevue to Everett, 1 hour. Scattered backups between Kirkland and Alderwood. Seattle to Everett at 55 minutes. It's solid from the U District into Mill Creek. After Shoreline, you'll start to thin out. Bellevue to South Center is at 40 minutes. We're thick through Bellevue. After Factoria, this starts to thin out for you pretty good. And Tacoma to Olympia at 45 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo. Gunfire near the border in Blaine.
I sat straight up in bed because I heard gunshots. I want to say 3.
FBI is investigating the shooting involving a border agent. KIRO 7 TV's Jason Sloss reports this happened around 5:30 this morning in front of a home.
A neighbor posted a photo on social media saying the guy who was shot was hit in the leg and went down in her driveway. The FBI says a gun was recovered at the scene. The FBI says it was an isolated incident with no threat to the public. No reports of anyone else who was hurt.
U.S. Attorney's Office tells Seattle Red the suspect was known to law enforcement and had a criminal history. A 6-year-old boy kidnapped overnight in Linwood has been found safe. The suspect is still on the run. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay reports.
Courtney O'Keefe in the Snohomish County Sheriff's Office says it started late Monday night.
Deputies responded to reports of an assault and a female victim being thrown from a vehicle near 148th Street Southwest in Linwood.
She says the woman's ex-boyfriend, 32-year-old Davey Donato, then took off in her car with her 6-year-old son. The boy turned up in a family friend's front yard in Shoreline about 5:30 a.m., and it's believed Donato took him there, dropped him off, and then left. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Trails are shut down on Mount Si after a bear attacked 2 hikers this afternoon. 911 call came in at 12:45. A teenager was clawed by the bear. Another was hurt while running away. Eastside Fire and Rescue's Catherine Imboden says the injuries are not life-threatening.
We did have multiple hikers report seeing the bear. As they were coming down, a lot of people reported that they had seen the bear or the bear had been aggressive towards them.
Washington State Fish and Wildlife is now on scene searching for that bear. And welcome back, Cal Raleigh. He is in the Mariners lineup tonight after missing about a month with a right oblique strain. He's behind the plate. Also back in the lineup is J.P. Crawford. He was on the injured list with a bruised right hand. First place M's take on the Baltimore Orioles at 6:40 as they begin a 6-game homestand. Your forecast now, picture-perfect baseball weather right now with highs in the mid-70s. Mostly sunny for the rest of this week. And right now, 75 in downtown. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
John, I want a divorce.
Divorce?
It's not funny, John, and you know it's been coming for a long time.
Divorce.
Why do you always laugh when I'm upset? I'm absolutely serious. And you're treating this like some kind of game. I'm tired of it, John.
What is this? What is this?
We love games.
Not anymore. Not your kind of games.
What is,
your games are cruel.
Wow, this is really too revealing.
Divorce.
Stop laughing.
What the hell is that, Andrew?
It's secret tape of you and Nick talking about divorce, I think.
No.
It's dark.
What?
It's an internet skit of a woman and a man talking about divorce.
Oh, okay.
And the joke is the guy keeps laughing at her.
Yes.
And it's just improv with them going back and forth.
Okay, but that's a terrible improv.
It's better with the visuals.
Did you realize we're just doing radio? At what point did you realize, oh, God, I forgot about the visuals?
I knew that leading in.
Huh?
I knew that going into
it. Oh, really? You just thought you just dive in? Yeah, you're like, I'm going to try this.
Yeah.
Visuals, schmisuals, I think you always say.
That's right.
Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line would like to apologize for the last 13 seconds that Andrew put on the air.
37 seconds.
Yeah.
1-888-973-5477. We cover a lot of ground today. I assume we're going to have lots of text messages regarding Swank and... yeah?
The answer is yes.
8 pages, and we'll get to one of them.
Lie to me. Did we get a lot?
Yes.
Okay, fine.
Jeez.
So higher tax, the Washington State University, go Cougs, researchers examining civic engagement. Here's what they come up with, that when the tax burden gets higher, people become more engaged. And when they're more engaged, there's less corruption. Okay, so they're not advocating for an increase in taxes. They're just saying that the byproduct of when taxes get higher, people seem to pay attention more, and then that's good for everybody. Well, does it work? In the state of Washington, we've had been the increase for the revenue, as they like to refer to it, the revenue that is going up. So 25% revenue up, 25% up, $17 billion in new taxes passed in the last 2 years. So apparently we're supposed to start paying attention now, because the taxes are really high, and then we're going to see corruption will start to go down. I think this is probably true. We had Jim Walsh on a couple of months ago when the governor decided he would sign the income tax, the millionaire's tax. And I said to Walsh, what do you think is good to come from this? And he said, I think this is going to be it. There's going to be a giant sea change that's going to happen in the state of Washington. And then Brian Haywood, also agreeing with that, has an attack in place, which is going to be get good representatives in there in Olympia, get good people that are going to be on the Washington State Supreme Court, that'll be able to read the Constitution, don't need to reinterpret the Constitution, just understanding that income is property, and then get enough signatures. I don't know what the total amount of signatures they have at this point. Do we have an update?
Tomorrow we'll get the new count.
For the initiative. And then the people will have a chance, as they've done, I think, 9 or 10 times before, to say no to an income tax. And Walsh believes that it will be a turning point, a breaking point, and then perhaps the people will be awakened to that perhaps their interest not being well represented by the people in Olympia. And this is it, going to break the log jam, and then everybody's going to vote Republican. Good luck. Not everybody, but just enough people to realize, hey, even though there's an R at the end of your name, and we're not really voting against Trump, we're voting for our own interest. So maybe WSU's research showing that when taxes go up, corruption goes down, and people pay more attention. I don't think you can probably argue with that logic. People are paying attention now. When the initiative was first offered, within a week, 96,000. The names go on to the paper. And I'm going to have to subtract the 22 names that were stolen allegedly by Mr. Benjamin Lee Brown there was it Pierce County? It was in Puyallup, right? Somewhere in Puyallup. So good news is people have a chance to have their say. The bad news is we need to get, and I'm going to say we because I'm somebody I don't trust any of those folks in Olympia when they say that it's only going to be the people that are making $1 million. I think that the last number that we had seen after the second week was more than 200 and some thousand.
They're at 240 to 699 signatures so far. They only need to get to 308,000 by July 2nd. So they, still got a couple more weeks to break that number.
Right. And I am going to be with Brian, Ari, and myself will be, where are we going to be? Income tax. Vote yes on IP 26-645. That's the 28th of June from 10 to 3, Virginia Mason Building there in Bellevue. So there's a final turnout event. Ooh, we're getting up at the last minute there. So Brian and Ari and myself will all be there getting a chance to see people come by.
You say the 20th?
It says the 28th.
Oh, the 28th.
28th, yeah.
Okay.
2 days for my birthday from 10 to 3. It is remarkable, the people that come up to sign the thing. I haven't seen one person that shows up like the Mr. Monopoly with the hat and the giant mustache and the cane, the guy that owns Baltic Avenue and Broadway and the rest, and Boardwalk. You don't see Mr. Monopoly showing up. Nobody rolls up in a Rolls Royce and gets out with a couple of Airedales and says, "Oh, I'd like to sign the thing," and they happen to have a quill pen or something. It's just a bunch of people like, "Don't trust you. We know what you're up to. We don't think that this is only going to be on millionaires." So they do need to get the signatures. You can look online at Let's Go Washington. They'll show you where some of the other places to sign up, or if you want to get the initiatives, you can do that as well. The 5-year analysis for Washington Jumpstart tax in downtown shows a decline. No kidding. When you tax something, you get less of it. If you provide something for someone, you get more of it. So in this case, look at this. Taxes, just like anything else, you tax something, get less money. And where do they go? Well, they go according to, who was it? Was it Puget Sound Business Journal? Who else had this thing in there?
The Downtown Seattle Association did the study, and GeekWire did this particular.
Yeah, you subsidize it, you get more. You tax it, you get less. So why is anybody surprised by this? So GeekWire looks at it and says, look at this. All the money they got the first year with the Jumpstart tax in Seattle, and they took a whole bunch, and they were all celebrating, and then they slowly continued to decline because as the big tech guys, the total amount of people they moved over to Bellevue was like 15,000. So it really is an interesting experiment because you've got your control group. You've got the variable. The variable is the city of Seattle, and now the mayor is trying to figure out how to keep people here. I've noticed she's changed her tune a little bit because she's starting to talk about, well, we have to make sure this is a business-friendly place. All right. She's come a long way. Give her some credit from the day that she got elected and went down there and talked about, don't buy Starbucks coffee. My God. Oh, my God. So she's coming around. So there you go. Maybe it'll all work out. I got into an interesting conversation with a guy at Mike's on Saturday. His name was John. He was surprised to find that I had a radio show. He recognized me from television. I said I'm on the radio, and he goes, "You mean like a podcast?" It's like, like radio. He goes, "Is that like a podcast?" I said, "Yeah, okay, fine. It's like a podcast." And then he and I were going back and forth in a very friendly way. And when I told him that I had endorsed Katie, he got really mad at me. And then he said, "I think it's rather selfish of you to want the city to collapse, to not literally, figuratively speak, burn, and under the weight of socialism. I think that was a really terribly selfish thing of you to try to prove a point. Think of all the businesses that are going to be hurt by that." I said, "Look, I was just one guy. I'm sure I was not the one that pushed people over when she won by 2,200 votes." He goes, "No, but you're playing with other people's lives by going on the air and promoting socialism." It's like,
you tell me you don't
waiter, get this guy. Somebody kind of calm him down a little bit.
I don't even live here, man.
It was a great conversation in that he was trying to point out that he'd said libertarians and liberals intersect. And I thought, well, that's interesting. And I wanted him to define liberal. Are we talking the progressive liberal of the 1970s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s? Or are we talking liberal of the 1920s, 30s, and 40s? Because the terminology has changed. And he said, no, I'm talking about today's liberal. Liberals and libertarians share a lot of common views. I thought, wow, like what? And then he talked about ignoring the divine spark of divinity and morality, that liberals and libertarians ignore that and are not morally grounded by God. Think about that.
Yeah, I mean,
I was pretty stoned at the time, but I think that's what I remember him saying. I said, well, that's interesting. So, and I gave him the libertarian test, the guy on the bridge, right? The guy's going to jump off the bridge. You can reach and save him. If you do you reach over and save him? I said, if you reach over and stop him, then what gives you the right to try to stop him from jumping off the bridge, right? The libertarian thing is, well, that's what he wants to do. Who am I to stop this person? And he said, what do you mean by right? I said, okay, well, you could choose a different word, but what makes you feel as if your will over this other person's will should supersede his choice? The libertarian point of view is live and let live. Swing your fist as much as you want, ball it up, do whatever you want, and you can go right past my nose as long as it doesn't touch my nose. You can do whatever you want.
Right.
And he says, well, that's immoral. That is, you are disconnecting yourself from the other individual that is a child of God, and the two of you, we are all united by the Creator. See this? Can you follow that?
Oh,
You get that?
100%. Yeah, I mean, but you have to agree with what he's saying, right? In that,
But I do agree, and then we got to, well, what is moral and what morality, and where does it come from?
And who's
a fairly common argument you get with people that believe in God and people that don't believe in God, which is this. You could take two individuals, one is agnostic or one is atheist, and the other one is a Bible quoting Christian. And you would say both of these individuals know in their heart that murder is wrong. How do they know that? So the God-fearing Christian will say, because God has placed that in your heart. You just know it's wrong. And even the atheist, denying all God, denying any existence of any divine power, would also agree that murder is wrong. Now, how does the atheist know that? How does the non-religious individual know that? And the argument from people that come from a point of view of we are all children of God under the creation of God and the spark of God, and that he has placed that in the heart of each of us to know that murder is wrong. It just feels wrong. Certain things feel wrong, and the feeling is God. That's the idea. You with me?
yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, look, I don't know why that libertarians are excluded from that. I believe it. I agree. I recognize the existence of a power greater than anything we could possibly understand. But where I separate myself from liberals is I believe in God. I have a lot of friends that are very liberal and they deny God, and they see man himself as capable of being their own God, creating their own existence, and they want the government to step in and to be, just guide us a little bit, to allow us to be free, to break the systems that hold us back from being our true godlike self. So that's,
Sure.
And then it was quite a heavy conversation at Mike's on Saturday night, I'll tell you.
Well, and he feels that it's because of his beliefs and that the government should impose morality on other people.
Yeah, right. And then you get into, okay, write a law that is moral.
Right.
It's not. I said there's 4 things the government should do. 1, it should defend the country. 2, it needs to make sure that you can walk down the street without somebody hitting you with a club. And 3, it needs to write a law. And the law is, like, for instance, said it before, the drone can fly 100 feet from your house, but it can't fly 50 feet from your house without invading your space. And the 4th thing the government does, it takes those laws and then takes you to court and then just determines whether or not you broke the law. That's it. Those are the 3.
Right.
I borrowed all that from my buddy Milton Friedman, right? And he said, where's the morality? I said, put it in where you want. Place morality in, but let's see you write a law that's moral. He goes, well, okay, then murder. I said, well, murder is you are taking away that other individual's rights, the right to live. We recognize that you have a right, and by taking life, you are stopping that individual from living their full life of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Yeah.
You can find morality in there, but they're not written because you can't enforce morality.
I've heard it phrased as the only true law is theft. You can't steal somebody's right to the truth. You can't steal somebody's right to life. You can't steal somebody's. It all boils down to taking
something from somebody
Exactly,
else,
yes.
right? Yes,
That's the one
good.
true.
Right, because I represent. I have all the rights bestowed by me from the inalienable right of from God, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. I saw an agnostic say one time, the greatest thing that was ever done was the creation of God so that we could then have inalienable rights, that the government can't take those from us. Okay, however you want to get to it, those are great rights that we have, and that no one can take any of that from you, that you are sacred in the sense that someone else's will cannot be placed upon you unless you break the law. And then we say, well, now we're going to take your time from you. We're going to take your freedom from you. And that's the price you're going to have to pay in order to be back into a position where society accepts you, but you have to pay the penalty for the theft that you had been accused of and found guilty of. Boy, went a long way on taxes. Get all that?
Yeah.
The city of Seattle will continue to lose. I'll just get to the last part. The city of Seattle is going to continue to lose more and more jobs. It's going to lose more investment. The capital is leaving the city of Seattle, and the only way to turn this thing around is probably a 10-year plan. Cities have to die and then have to come back again. But there has to be a real change for the people that put those people in positions of power. If you look at Detroit in 1967, the writing on the wall, the death of Detroit was occurring prior to it when a lot of people started moving out to the suburbs. And then when the city began to lose a tax base because there was white flight, there was crime that really began to take off when the riots began in 1967. And then after that, it was downhill for a long time until 1980, 1981, when Mr. Bing, the mayor, said, we can't take care of all these. The city of Detroit is way too big. And he sliced off giant pieces of it and said, we can probably get enough revenue just to take care of this place. And we can just build back out again, and we'll annex the rest of Detroit once we have enough of a tax base just for a smaller section of it. And they basically sliced it all off and threw it back into the state, and then they tried to rebuild it again. The city of Seattle is, unfortunately, I would say, probably 6 to 8 years out, unless something major happens.
Socialism failing to work as it always does. Anyway,
anybody celebrating the fact that go after the rich people, as long as you continue to have the mentality that we shouldn't have billionaires and that's wrong that Elon Musk is there. And if he had all that money and if we were to take that money and give it to somebody else, that things are better. Until people get out of that poisonous mindset, the city of Seattle will continue to slide downhill. Here's Nate checking traffic.
Hey, thanks, John. South 5 heading into Seattle. We are jam-packed at North Gateway to the Convention Center. Plan on 50 minutes from Linwood in the downtown. Southbound 99, you're bumper-to-bumper approaching the Aurora Bridge down to the stadiums, where we have a 6:40 game tonight. The Mariners at T-Mobile Park. Crossing the lake from Bellevue to Seattle, 25 minutes on either bridge route. Westbound 90, we're stop and go from North Mercer all the way to I-5. Westbound 520, clear across the lake, but you're going to jam up at the Arboretum to I-5. Seattle to Federway, a 35-minute commute. Still slow from interurban down to 516. Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeways at 40 minutes. You're crowded pretty much from Renton all the way into Sumner. Now, you're close to the speed limit through a good chunk of this. Both directions of 405 are jam-packed through South Center. And southbound on the Maple Valley Highway, we're packed from 405 all the way out to the golf course. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio, winner of 7 regional Edward R. Murrow Awards. Breaking news coverage, best newscast, excellence in writing, investigative reporting, sports reporting, hard news. Capped with a prestigious prize for overall excellence. And we thank you, our audience across the Pacific Northwest. You are the reason we strive to be the Northwest's trusted news source. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
2 years ago, my office launched a major media campaign to identify key witness to our client's bicycle accident, which we later settled for $10 million. Because when we accept a case, we don't rest until we do everything possible to improve our client's chance of recovery. We're one of only a few firms in the state with an in-house investigation team building our clients' cases. So when you hire Davis Law Group, you don't just get a dedicated and award-winning legal team. You get our commitment to better service and even better results. Request a free consultation today at 206-888-8888.
Did you really think Pure Talk was just going to sit back and watch America turn 250 years old without doing something awesome to celebrate? Of course not. That's why they're raising $250,000 for America's Warrior Partnership by the end of July. America's Warrior Partnership is on the front line of preventing veteran suicide. They've had extraordinary success, and here's how you can help. When you switch your cell phone service to Pure Talk this month, you'll be invited to round up to support America's Warrior Partnership. No pressure, but if you do, Pure Talk will match your donation dollar for dollar. And to further celebrate 250 years of our extraordinary democratic republic, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for just $34.99 a month. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. That's pound 250, say Mike Rowe. And happy birthday to us.
Hey there, Dawn Riling from Olympic Hot Tub with exciting news. Our mid-year clearance event is on. You'll score big savings on all in-stock saltwater hot tubs and fabulous saunas. Plus, deep discounts on newly released floor model swim spas. These deals are incredible. But don't wait. Our mid-year clearance ends June 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Olympic Hot Tub.
Honey, did you invite the minions over?
Well, you know how we talked about getting Wi-Fi from Xfinity?
Yeah.
I ordered it this morning, was online in minutes, then they showed up.
So they just came over to use the Wi-Fi?
They even brought their own devices and spell book.
You didn't give them the new Wi-Fi password, right?
No.
That's good.
I gave them our old one because Xfinity lets us keep the same network name and password so devices connect instantly.
What do they want Wi-Fi for anyways?
Better not to know. Plausible deniability.
Get streaming or scheming instantly with same-day Wi-Fi from Xfinity. Plus, lock in one price for the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi for 5 years. Guaranteed. And see Minions and Monsters only in theaters. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Jason Rance here with Greg Nunn from None Better Tax Resolution. Greg, there are a ton of national advertisers offering services similar to yours. Why shouldn't I go with one of them?
National firms are an interesting phenomena, if you will, because I hear from clients that tried them initially, and they tell me these stories that are just really hard to believe, Jason. They'll call, and the person that they're talking to is really a salesperson. They don't really know the tax resolution business at all. They're trying to make a sale. And so they overpromise, and they'll hook them with a very low initial fee. Then when that case starts moving down the road, all of a sudden the person's getting a phone call. Oh, you need to pay us thousands of dollars to get this thing done. And they tell me sometimes it never gets done.
So it's a tax resolution scheme without any of the resolution.
I really believe part of it is.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn with None Better Tax Resolution. 425-947-1967 or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good evening. I'm Aaron Granillo. The state's first major wildfire of the year is in Spokane County. Multiple aircraft right now dropping water on the upriver fire, which started earlier today. The Spokane Valley Fire Department says 500 homes are now threatened. At last check, it was 0% contained, burning at about 300 acres. Cause of the fire is under investigation. The military is investigating that deadly B-52 bomber crash at Edwards Air Force Base in California. Boeing says 2 of its employees were part of the 8-person crew that died when the aircraft went down yesterday. Colonel James Hayes.
This was a mixed crew. This was a mixed crew of military, government civilians, and government contractors.
B-52 crashed shortly after takeoff during a routine test mission. It's not clear yet what went wrong. A Lakewood man was gravely injured in a powerful blast involving homemade fireworks. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports.
The Pierce County Bomb Squad was called to a home near Steilacoom Boulevard Southwest and Bridgeport Way Southwest just after 3 p.m. last Saturday. When they arrived, they found a 47-year-old man with life-altering injuries. Investigators say the man admitted he was mixing black powder in a Ninja blender when it exploded. Deputy Carly Capetto says the man is a victim and a suspect, too.
This is a crime. You cannot make bombs. You can't make homemade fireworks. We are just thankful that other people did not get their hands on these homemade devices.
The man will likely face charges after he recovers. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
SpaceX, now the 5th most valuable company on the planet, moving ahead of Amazon. At its high today, SpaceX was valued at $2.9 trillion. Amazon's at roughly $2.6 trillion. Shares of SpaceX now trading at $202, up 40% from its IPO on Friday. Now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
All right, thanks, Aaron. South 5 into Seattle. We are barely moving from Northgate down to the convention center. We're up to an hour drive from Linwood into downtown. Southbound 99, a great option for you. It does get thick there approaching the Aurora Bridge down to the stadiums. Seattle to Everett and Bellevue to Everett, both 50-minute commutes. I-5 heavy from the U District into Mill Creek. 405 we're slow from mid-Bellevue all the way into Alderwood. Bellevue to South Center, heading southbound, 35 minutes. It's thick through Bellevue, through Cold Creek, and then from there you'll slowly thin out into Renton, and then we'll get crowded again as you head through South Center. Northbound 405 in South Center is heavy coming off I-5 through the Renton S-curves. And in Federal Way, both directions of I-5 were heavy between Fife and State Route 18. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Thank you, Nate. To your forecast now, it's a good one. We are seeing highs in the mid-70s the next couple of days, upper 70s and low 80s on Friday, and a very nice weekend in store. Upper 70s and more sunshine. Currently 72 and sunny in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Beep, beep, ba, beep, ba. Ba, 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 beep, ba, ba. Al Jarreau. Anyone want to go dancing on the ceiling? Anyone want to dance upon the roof? You ever seen that video?
Yes, because you made me watch it.
Oh, yeah. The guy with the... You gotta watch the video. Oh, it's great. The guys with the leg warmers on.
Oh, yeah.
I told you when I interviewed him once, and I said, I could do a pretty good imitation of you. And I went like this. Oh, wait down. It's a holiday. I was doing all that, and he didn't take it as a compliment.
Wow.
Supposed to be the highest form of flattery. Wilcox Plumbing Farmer Acts recipe. The giant wheel be spinning now as Al Jarreau sings in the background. Teeny, get ready. There it is. There it is. Names of all the players are on the board. Red, white, and blue. Me lands on me.
Oh.
I'm going to go with scrambled eggs. I can add a little bit of cream. Don't heat them up too much. You just don't bust them up. Just it's all about fluffing them.
Yum!
Scrambled eggs in the giant. There you are, Teeny, in the giant book brought to you. All right, are we suspicious of this one? Don't forget the FBI, the same FBI that told us that Mr. Crooks, Thomas Matthew Crooks, the alleged shooter there in Butler. Don't believe him, the FBI there. Don't believe the FBI when they told you about Charlie Kirk. Don't believe the FBI on a whole bunch of stuff. And then the FBI comes along with this one, and
according to these unsealed FBI affidavits, were set to use explosions in drones near that big UFC fight at the White House and then shoot guests as they frantically evacuated that event. So far, 5 arrests have been made, including 2 men from Riverside County who allegedly planned to target politicians and the wealthy people in attendance. The FBI says 19 people, including this man, 19-year-old Tyson Proper, had been talking online plotting this attack for at least a month. Proper, who federal agents say was living at home with his parents in Ohio, used $3,000 of his graduation money to buy guns, tactical vests, and thousands of rounds of ammo for the attack. Those conversations, what took place on encrypted chats and phone calls, actually overheard by that man's mother, who called police. The FBI's court filing reveals the group of strangers claimed to be ex-military and Christian-based and had grievances about government corruption, the handling of the Epstein files, and data centers taking up the water of communities. They had hoped this coordinated...
That guy had a lot on his mind.
Yes, he did.
He doesn't look like somebody who does have a lot on their mind. He's got that kind of look like... family tree didn't split.
Attack would tear down the U.S. so it could be built up again.
Oh.
There were sniper locations planned, meeting points, discussion of safe houses, but the Secret Service not saying how close that group was to executing the attack.
Look, it was a serious threat. We take all threats of a large nature very seriously, and we investigate them until we can validate 100% that it's no longer a threat. It was an active plot, and it's ongoing. And just because we're done with Freedom 250 or that particular event doesn't mean we're going to stop. There are still suspects at large, and we're going to work it until everyone's been identified.
Okay, so apparently they were able to get tipped off. There were 23 people involved, and they gave you all the details how the whole thing is supposed to work. Matt Quinn, Secret Service Deputy Director, appeared to allude to Patel's premature announcement. Oh, my God, not Patel again.
I'll tell you a phrase I learned early in my career in the New York field office, and that's don't choke on your own smoke. Anyone that believes that case was worked in a bubble is naive. I'll tell you the Secret Service led that investigation from the beginning. I'll tell you that it's ongoing. In order to maintain the integrity of the investigation and the security plan, we chose not to leak it.
Okay. So it got leaked.
By Kash Patel. Which is, do you believe the FBI? No. Do I believe the Secret Service? Yes. And I think they saw it for what it was, which is a bunch of kind of yokels, including the 19-year-old whose mom overheard him talking about it and told the Secret Service or the FBI or whoever she
I think the lead is that somebody actually gave that guy $3,000 for graduating.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
And he went out and blew it all in once. But they had this plot to, put bombs on drones. They didn't have any drones. They didn't have any bombs. They were going to post up snipers around the White House. Really? You think you're going to get out on a rooftop near the White House when they're having an event? You think you're going to get on the rooftop near the White House on any normal day? That's never going to happen.
Is this all to distract us from the other accusations? Is that the FBI is investigating, or they want the FBI to investigate the UFC for staging fights?
That I don't know anything about.
Okay. Well, it's diversion and
No, I don't think it's a diversion. I think these guys were on a Discord chat or whatever talking about some dumb idea.
I got an idea. We should
exactly.
We should do. If we had if we had drones with bombs, we could bring those in.
Exactly.
Seriously, guys, no, come on, seriously. Bring them in we blow up buildings next to it.
Yeah.
And then
I'd love to see their maps. I mean, they're probably drawn with crayons.
Okay, so hold on. So we drop bombs on those, and then but then what do we do? Right? Does anybody have any ideas?
We'll put snipers on the roofs.
Yeah. Yes. So snipers on. All right. So then, as everybody's running out, then we can shoot them.
Sorry, there's already snipers on the roof. They're the Secret Service. They're posted on every rooftop.
Take them out, man. You graduated from high school.
That's right.
You got $3,000.
You got money.
Okay.
The problem is Kash Patel. I think he just wanted to win because nobody has any faith in him, and he's a doofus, and he's drunk all the time. So he's like, "Oh, look, we'll tweet out that we foiled this giant plot." It wasn't a giant plot, and the Secret Service probably never would have said anything about it. It's just one of a dozen they probably deal with a week of people just chatter online, and they find somebody with a gun they're not supposed to have and arrest them.
Well, now you get the FBI supposed to investigate the UFC because they are apparently moving forward to investigate the integrity of the UFC and whether or not these things are fixed. Because if you get into it where they're fixed, then somebody's making money on it. But then you go, well, does the FBI and does Dana White have enough of a relationship together that they would be covering these things up and not being able to get the information?
I don't think the fights are fixed, whether they use inside information to, for irregular betting. That maybe, but I don't think they're fixing any of the fights.
Why do you say that?
I watched most of them.
Okay.
I think I got a pretty good eye for a fixed fight.
Well, it might be the ones you're not watching are the ones where they're fixed, right? It's
Maybe.
a great scene from On the Waterfront with Marlon Brando, and I could have been somebody, could have been a contender. But the money was not on you that night. Hey, you saw some money, didn't you? Saw some money. Rod Steiger's playing his brother. You ever seen that scene?
I have.
Oh, it's great. Not my night. I could have taken him apart.
It might be. So there was a whole fiasco right before the fights happened where Daniel Cormier, who's one of the broadcasters and a former fighter, tweeted out some screenshots of an Instagram direct message from Eric Trump. And he was saying, hey, is anybody injured? He basically asking for tips on how they could bet against, a fight that they were likely to get good odds on. And immediately that was deleted. And it came out that they were actual tweets. Everybody denied it. Eric Trump said it was AI, but it doesn't make any sense. Cormier said, "Oh no, I didn't. I must have been hacked or something." But
yeah, well, did they find out whether? Because it doesn't seem like somebody all of a sudden gets hacked and then you take your account down right away.
No, you don't get hacked and unhacked in the course of 2 minutes. It seems weird. I mean, maybe Eric Trump is that dumb to where he would, tweet or DM somebody that works on the fights asking for incriminating evidence, but
Did you find it? No. Too bad. I was going to play it for you. Great scene.
Oh, I've heard it. You've made me load it.
Okay, you know what? You learn things from me.
No, I agreed.
Okay.
I like it.
I could have been a contender. How's that?
I had to memorize it.
Yeah, that's right. But not a bum, which is what I am. I got 2 tickets to Palookaville. All right, Nate is also reporting from Palookaville.
Money. Well, I had some bets down for you.
There
You
it
saw
is.
some money. You don't understand. I could have had class.
Could have been somebody.
I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody.
Classic.
Took a dive.
There we are. There's Nate Chicken Trevor Nathan.
Yeah, South 5 into Seattle. We are in a parking lot from Northgate to the Convention Center. It's a 1-hour drive from Linwood into downtown. North 5 pretty much have cleared out, just minor slowing right through the heart of downtown. Seattle to Everett, Bellevue to Everett, give yourself 50 minutes. Crossing the lake into Seattle, westbound 520. Heavy across the lake now to I-5. Westbound 90, you're slow from the Mercer Lid to I-5. Bellevue to South Center, 35 minutes. It is still thick through Bellevue after Coal Creek Parkway begins to thin out for you. And then you're in the clear by the time you hit the S-curves, but then another backup starts in South Center. Seattle to Federal Way, 35 minutes. We're crowded from 405 to 516. And down in Auburn, eastbound 18 is packed from I-5 all the way out to C Street. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
People like to say, I got a guy that does this. I got a guy that does fencing. I got a guy that fix your car. I got a guy that, great accountant. You got to call my accountant. I got a guy now. I got a guy when it comes to stem cell procedures. He's done 20,000 of them. You walk into his office. I'm talking about Dr. Mark Wagner at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Here's what you notice. People are very, very friendly at work there. Plus, you're going to notice a bunch of jerseys of great athletes. And I said to Wagner, so these guys came here? He said, yeah, these are a lot of patients of mine. Figuring if somebody is like $1 million, multi-million-dollar athlete, they've got the muscle and the joint problems and they got all sorts of stuff. They go to see Wagner. I can go see Wagner. I go in there when he looked at my MRI and my x-rays. He goes, yeah, your hip's pretty bad. You were looking at surgery? I said, yeah. He goes, here's how stem cells work. It's a 90-minute outpatient procedure. I've done 20,000 of them. And this is going to work for you. As we do. We get it done in 3, 4, 5, 6 months later, 5 months later, I'm feeling great. I'm telling you, if you got a bad elbow, shoulder, ankle, wrist, knee, whatever it is, before surgery, drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
I had pain. I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025, or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You deserve a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Switch today. Get started for $60 a month for 12 months when you add an advanced solution to a qualifying internet package. Limited time offer. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet, security edge, and additional qualifying service. 1-year agreement, paperless billing, and autopay with bank account required. Taxes and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
Guys, tired all the time? Gaining weight? Low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. This June, for Men's Health Month, Revive Men's Health in Seattle is offering a free comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. No guessing, just answers. Over 100,000 men have trusted Revive to get real results. More energy, better sleep, improved mood, and confidence that shows. If something feels off, don't wait. Take control and protect your long-term health by knowing your numbers. This offer ends June 30th. Schedule your free comprehensive wellness panel today. Call 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Feel better. Live stronger. Start now.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. After 15 years and over 50,000 cancellations, I can tell you with confidence, we know how to get you out of your timeshare. Call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit guide absolutely free with all your options for cancellation. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-881-8686. That's 800-881-8686. 800-881-8686.
Healthcare costs are rising, and a major driver is hospital prices. They've increased more than 250% over the past 25 years. Families and local businesses are feeling it. At Primera Blue Cross, we're working to change that by negotiating with hospitals to secure fair, responsible prices so you can get the care you need at a cost you can afford. That's coverage that counts. Learn more at coveragethatcounts.primera.com.
The John Curley Show mailbag is brought to you by Advanced Hair Restoration.
No more Al Jarreau. Okay, who's going to sing?
The mailman.
Oh.
Make it quick. Nice.
Okay, there we go. Letter of the day. First, take care of all the rest. Here we go.
Dennis in Seattle says, guys, do tanks really squeak? Who the heck is Crazy George?
Fernando in Seattle says, wow, that Buc-ee's riff was amazing.
Charlie on the beach in Seattle says, geez, Joe, that was going so well. I loved your riz, and then Curly jumps all over your vibe.
We are a duet.
That's right.
A team. Brandon Snohomish says, damn, John went right into the Bucky song. Don't listen to the haters. It wouldn't be the John Curley Show without the great Bucky ad featuring producer Joe.
Thank you.
Bucky's Auto Service Center. I would emphasize. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Braden. Tina on the 425 says, this here Nate fan has a Joe's Hole level theory. You fellas are posting bumper-to-bumper bets in a group chat, and Mr. Funny decides the winner by switching up the traffic report.
Yeah, we've thrown him off. Have you noticed? Because he's not as smooth as he used to be because he tries to hold back.
But he has no idea what our...
He doesn't. He has no... Andrew, he can't see when I hold my fingers up, right?
I don't know.
What? Oh, my God.
Supposed
Somebody
to
call
write it down.
Eric Trump. Dan in Stanwood says, ask John if it's all right to keep 3-month-old chickens in the house. They know they could poop on the carpet, and I shake it out in the morning. Yes, it's okay. It's perfectly fine.
Are we a country divided? Clipsand Paul says, John, that was an awesome editorial on today's media and others. They are doing what they can to profit from the instigated hatred they promote.
Yes. 360, maybe lead by example. Okay. Really? Yeah. We're the big problem.
Dinah and Everett says, would you rather have no media or fake media?
You are fake news.
No media. Morons are media candy.
Fernando in Seattle says, I wish you were more sincere about this topic, but you're one of the biggest, loudest fomenters of divisive rhetoric in the area.
Thank you. Sue in Redmond says, I love your stories, John. You're truly the best. Oh, that's nice. Joe, a little bit of balance there. Fernando, not a fan.
I don't squeal. He is a fan, and I don't think he's...
I wish you were sincere about the topic, but you're one of the biggest, loudest fomenters of divisive rhetoric.
He's still a fan.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
425 says, Chad Benson swears on his evening show all the time. So do his guests.
Well, we don't do that here. That's what Chad does. John Johnson says, preach it, John Michael.
425, way to go. Keep telling your listeners to love one another.
Oh, okay. Dwayne in the QFC says, you're a good man, John Curley. Thank you. It's always good to have Dwayne with us.
That's right. AI voice scams. Benny the tugboat expert says, I get calls from crooks every 15 minutes all day long. I tried not answering the phone. That didn't work. Now I answer them and threaten them with bodily harm. That works sometimes.
Hee-haw Aaron says code word is hee-haw, but the trick is you have to say it like a donkey.
Josh in Auburn says, I think John and the AI should read the scripts together. See how close it is simultaneously.
Yeah, gallows humor.
Hee-haw.
The new old man John. How did the dead baby cross the road? It was stapled to the chicken.
Oh, classic.
And now it is time for the letter of the day.
Thank you, Teeny.
Chicken at Dan and Stanwood's house.
Where's the camera? Go ahead. All right, go ahead.
Pretty close. From 206.
Yes.
My code, if in my judgment an action results in the harm of myself or others, that action is wrong. I too believe in a higher power, but it is certainly not required.
Wow, 206 coming in with that one.
You know?
All right.
That's all she wrote.
So we get a little more Al Jarreau, but things don't always work.
You never know with Andrew.
You never know. So always keep you guessing.
Cheeks, Nate, cheeks.
Wow. Here's it with traffic.
South 5, we're barely moving from Northgate to the Convention Center. It's still a 1-hour drive from Linwood into downtown. Seattle to Everett, 55 minutes. Heavy from Lake City Way up into Mill Creek, almost to South Everett now. Bellevue to Everett, we're down to 40 minutes. Scattered back up some Bellevue to Alderwood after Northeast 85th. This thins out pretty quickly for you. Crossing the lake, westbound 520. Heavy across the lake over to I-5. Westbound 90 is slow from about the Mercer Tunnel to I-5. If you're heading out toward Redmond, eastbound 520, it jams up at 51st all the way in the downtown Redmond. Renton to Puyallup on 167, we're down to a half hour, heavier south of State Route 18. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Hey, when was the last time you inspected your crawl space or your attic? What's the last time you went in there just to see what kind of shape they're in? Oh, never? Yeah, same. I don't want to go in there. Most homeowners completely avoid those areas, but it is important to check on them regularly. It's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and go where you don't want to. Hey, it's Mike Salk here. And yes, when Crawl Pros came out to my place, they realized we had a little problem with our insulation. So they've set about fixing it, and they did a great job. But if you've got the same problem, they'll also look to see what kind of energy rebates are available. Right now, local utility companies are incentivizing homeowners to make their home more energy efficient with proper insulation. And some homes qualify for several $1,000s in savings with these utility rebate programs. So don't just assume your crawl space and attic are in great condition. Do what I did. Call Crawl Pros today and schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection and find out if you've got water intrusion, mold, rodent issues, or even damaged insulation. Schedule your crawl space and attic inspection at crawlpros.com.
Olympic Hot Tub's mid-year clearance event is on. Score big savings on saltwater hot tubs, saunas, and swim spas. Hurry, our mid-year clearance and these incredible deals end June 30th. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Spike O'Neill here. If your loved one's caregiver is planning a vacation or just needs a break, want to consider Aegis Living Respite Care. A short-term stay that provides 24/7 expert care, Aegis Living amenities, and peace of mind for you and your family. Go to aegisliving.com/spike to schedule a visit today.
Hey, John, why don't you tell everybody why you started going to Longevity
No, I
Medical
don't want
Clinic?
to do that. I can tell you, I started going to Longevity Medical Clinic before I started doing these commercials, but that why I went is not important.
Oh, it absolutely is.
Okay. I'll tell you. I was a Sammamish City Council member, and whenever they had asked me to do the Pledge of Allegiance, I couldn't make it through the whole thing without crying. I know, it's so dumb. I mean, I know I'm patriotic, but what the heck? So I go into Longevity Medical Clinic, and I explain this to them, that there's something wrong with my hormones or something, and they see the testosterone and the estrogen are all out of balance. We balance all that stuff, and I can do the Pledge of Allegiance without crying. But I've also noticed that I deal with stress a lot better, don't I?
Yes, you're a lot easier to live with because you're getting more sleep, you have more energy, you're better organized, and I'm not helping you look for your car keys every morning.
Right, because now I've taken the steps to take care of my mind and body. I strongly recommend anybody get the free health analysis at lmclinic.com. That's lmclinic.com.
Join in on the conversation by sending a text to 888-973-5476. That's 888-973-KIRO.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth.
Having some certainty about your plan is definitely going to give you all the advantages.
Chris has the heart of an educator.
If you really want to do this correctly, then you get to enjoy every day of retirement like it's a Saturday. And if you don't, it's a Monday for the rest of your life.
Tune in to The Money Professor with Chris Longworth, Saturdays at 8 a.m. right here on KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM.
Do you notice sounds coming from your crawl space or attic, or possibly stale or foul odors in your home? This could be that rodents have gotten into your attic and crawl and have made it their home. They tear up the insulation to make nests to have babies. They contaminate it with their biological waste, which can be harmful to your health. And they ruin your home's energy blanket, costing you thousands of dollars a year. If you even think you may have a problem, call Insulation Northwest today, and we will come to your home as soon as tomorrow and perform a free, no-obligation inspection to determine what the problem is. This inspection normally costs $199, but it's yours free just for calling today. If we discover any problem with rodents in your home, we can get them out and keep them out and restore your home's protective insulation blanket back to brand new condition. Let Insulation Northwest give peace and comfort back to you and your family and save you thousands of dollars in energy savings. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Our local tax expert and advocate